Hi, my name is Raf. I am playing Grinner, a barbarian human running from his past as an ex-soldier, now turned mercenary.
Hey everyone, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Luther. He's a Dampier. He is a fighter that specializes in firearms, a bit of an investigator, and I am the great uncle of Grinner.
Hi, I'm Jacob. I'm playing Tithla, the Goblin Ranger. She is a wonderful hunter and medical genius.
Hi, I'm Haz. I'm playing Theodore Ursa, the Satyr druid, who's a kind of a charismatic druid who's unwillingly taken Tifla under his wing as she's followed him through the forest for the past few months.
G'day, I'm Tom. I'm playing Jonal, the Asimir wizard. He is on the pursuit of good and evil, finding out the best and worst in this world, and he's doing that with a little bit of naivety and optimism.
And I'm Owen, the Dungeon Master of our Curse of Strahd campaign. Hello!
Hello,
everyone!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Archives for our Curse of Strahd campaign. It's been a hot minute since we did a Curse of Strahd campaign. I'm sorry that we have been out of action for the last 2 weeks. It's affected some of us more than others. I understand, Jacob, you've not been able to play D&D at all.
It's been a tragic loss in my life. My other friends apparently had other commitments, so they're dead to me now, and we're back here. So it's, the world is back in order.
The world spins on its axis once again.
That it does.
We are back with Curse of Strahd. We are still missing one of our lovely members. Those of you who know Haz has been away for the last little bit over in Egypt, lucky bastard. But we have replaced him with someone far more attractive. Josh! Some of you might know from the Roll Together streams. Josh, you're at a couple of different campaigns, including, are we allowed to announce that there's a very exciting campaign coming up that you are a part of, that I'm very...
There is one coming up that I don't think it's been announced yet, but hey, why not? Might as well.
Breaking news. Josh, would you like to tell us a little bit about, I think let's start with the campaign that you're currently in, and then let's jump across to the brand new campaign that's going to be it's on Roll Together, twitch.tv/Roll Together, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
So twitch.tv/Roll Together RPG, Mondays and Tuesdays, 6 p.m. BST. This one will be running on Mondays, and it's called A Murderous Symphony. It is DM'd by myself, and it's got something to do with a murder in a theatre in the city of Neverwinter. So there's a lot more to it than that, but you'll have to watch it if you want to find out.
So I mentioned to Josh only recently that I'm a huge fan of murder mystery D&D campaigns. Actually, this is a good time to plug that because it hasn't come out yet. It's coming out this Friday. So Josh and I recently caught up on the Roll Together stream for a sit down for the Table Talks interview, which is it was the questions one. Sorry, not Table Talk.
Yeah, Talk Together.
Talk Together, thank you. We had a little sit down for the Talk Together stream, which is coming out this Friday on the twitch.tv/Roll Together RPG. So definitely go and check that out. I will post some links to it in the video description and as a pinned comment when it does go live. It's a really cool chat podcast where you roll a dice to figure out which questions get asked and just have a good time. And absolutely had a great time. It was lots of fun. And mentioned that we were a player down, and luckily you had this little time slot free, and here you are. No preparation, very little time, just brought you across, quickly smashed out some character art for you, which those of you who are watching on the stream or on YouTube will be able to see the at least the torso of straight underneath Josh. That's exactly right. You'll be able to see Josh's character art. Will Owen be in it? I'm in the Talk Together episode, but I'm not in this campaign coming up. But if there's ever a guest spot, Josh, you need someone to jump in, let me know. I'm always keen to jump across. I'm not I very rarely get to be a player, so I'm always very excited when that happens. The Curse of the Forever DM has been a powerful one that I have had not much luck escaping, which I'm sure you understand very well, Josh.
Yes, definitely. I'm more the forever player, but I'm now getting more into being the forever DM. So
it's a slippery slope. Try to stay at least 50-50 if you can, because once you fall into forever DM, that's it. Like you're stuck there forever. let's do a quick recap, get us across into the session, and we will bring Josh's character as quickly as possible into the action as I possibly can. Although those of you who are seeing live will already see part of the artwork and his name. Just pretend you can't see it for the moment. Theatre of the Minded. And then when we introduce his character, you'll get to enjoy it firsthand, straight off the bat, hot off the press. Now, let me do a recap. Let's jump into the session. So, previously on our Curse of Strahd campaign, the Tempest Adventuring Guild have found themselves lost in the dangerous realm of Barovia. Trapped by strange magics, the group have now travelled westward, away from the sinister castle which reportedly houses the immortal ruler of these lands. Arriving in the town of Vallaki, the group have been drawn into an investigation to locate the missing bones of a saint said to confer protection to the town. Along the way, the group teamed up with a crazy gnome sorcerer, Raspip, who was also searching for a lost item. Their paths leading in the same direction, the Wachter family, who had much to gain from the acquisition of both bones and enchanted ring. Last session, the group had begun a deeper investigation into the burgomaster of Vallaki, Baron Vargas Valakovich. To this end, the group headed over to his manor, currently open to the public as part of the upcoming Festival of the Blazing Sun. With Theo, wild-shaped as a cockroach and hiding in Jonor's scarf, the duo snuck into the manor pretending to be part of the town, gathering materials and creating wreaths to burn. Unfortunately, while Theo failed to detect anything of note inside the manor, Jonor was caught by the manor's butler. A quick application of the suggestion spell allowed Jonor to magically influence the butler to get a message to Victor, the son of Baron Vargas. Mission sort of accomplished. The duo now reunited. They attempted to head out nonchalantly, which was not successful, a guard spotting Jonor acting strangely and accidentally drawing the attention of the burgomaster. Smooth talk and a large smile allowed Jonor to get out safely, meeting up back with the team. With a rendezvous organised for midnight with Victor, the team had a brief rest in the church before heading out into the night. Jonor and Theo, using their impressive bluffing skills, managed to convince Victor that they were powerful mages who were willing to help him with his spellcasting if he was willing to assist them. While the two headed back and scaled the side of the Valakovich household with Victor, the rest of the party kept a bit of a distance, observing from afar, managing to stay out of sight of the Baron's son. Once inside the manor, Jonor and Theo discovered that Victor had been raising the skeletons of cats from the dead under the instructions of a sinister book acquired from the Arasek stockyard. It seems that Victor had been learning this book alphabetically, starting with A, animate dead. However, he had skipped a few pages and also tried out T for teleportation circle. It was quickly revealed this had not been going well, with the daughter of the Wachter family, Stella Wachter, having been the latest victim of this teleportation circle and driven mad. The terribly inscribed runes and poor magical knowledge having previously disintegrated two servants of the Valakovich household. Jonor and Theo debated how to handle this situation and decided to confiscate this spellbook along with some other items of interest from Victor, promising to look over them, decide how to best handle the situation and come back the following evening, ostensibly to help him repair his teleportation circle, a spell Jonor does not know very well at all. While this was going on, Grinner sweet-talked some guards, got them drunk, pretending to be... was it a sergeant? No, you were a... Lance Corporal. Thank you, Jonor. Yeah, thank you, Tom. Why am I calling you characters now? You pretend to be a Lance Corporal of the Vallaki Watch, managing to get two guards drunk and sending them on their way. While this was going on, Luther had scaled the side of the building and was observing everything that was going on inside the house, while Tithla had a bit of a look around, keeping watch and making sure no one spied the group's nighttime activities. That is where we left off last session, the guards having just departed the front of the Valakovich household, Grinner now the only person guarding the front door to this manor house. It is very late at night. Grinner, you are still at the front of the manor, having just dismissed the two drunk guards back to their bed after getting them quite shit-faced on whiskey. Jonor and Theo, you are on your way out through the window, having just spoken with Victor and coming to the agreement that you would go through the books and information before meeting up back with him. Luther, at this point, you're still on the side of the house, holding on to the edge of the eave, hanging down just out of view of the window, but well within earshot of the room inside. Having now heard that Jonor and Theo plan on departing, it's up to you how you want to get yourself out of this situation. Whether or not you want to meet up with Jonor and Theo on the roof or make your way elsewhere, that's completely up to you.
I think I'll just stay here for now, and then I might actually scale further up because there's a window. Then obviously there's more roofing, so I'll get up on the roof, looking down at them as they come out.
So you know that Jonor and Theo will be coming out through the hatch in the roof. There's actually a hatch on the side of the roof that leads into this attic space.
Gotcha.
That's where they're going to be exiting to then climb back down that tree. Although, I mean, given your role last time with Mage Hand, Jonor, you could just Mary Poppins back down with your Mage Hand again if you wanted.
Yeah, umbrella that way. Yep.
Jonor, for your benefit, Jonor has the what's it called? The telekinetic feat for Mage Hand, and last session had to make a bit of a jump across a gap using Mage Hand. Just jump across using Athletics check. He used his Mage Hand to like Mary Poppins him across. I think you got like a natural 25,
I'm pretty
24.
Sure, yeah, nat 20.
Yeah.
But I got like a 4, I think, on the first roll. So that hand did 100% of the work.
Yeah. So your Athletics check was a 4. Your hand telekinetic push was natural 20. So we have been enjoying the Mary Poppins hand with your very buff, aggressively muscular Mage Hand.
Yep, compensates.
Yeah, exactly right. So Luther, in that case then, did you want to meet them on the roof or scale down the side of the building? Currently at the moment, with the moon in the position high above, you are shrouded in shadows. The trees that border this estate providing a really nice dappled shade cover on the side of the building. That same wall you scurried up the side of to get here.
No, I think I might just scale back down. I'll go sort of where I don't think anyone will be, and then I'll do my Dampier, basically run down the building.
Yeah, now we did a stealth check for this last time, and I believe Tithla and Grinner...
So Tithla and Grinner saw me at the very end of it as I sort of came up over, because I was out of sight.
Do you want to make
Grinner like piece together?
Yeah, for the first time ever,
did piece together a little bit.
Yeah, you've just started discussing the fact that maybe one of your party can walk up walls, and why that might be the case after what session are we on now? Like 28 or something?
Well, that's a good point. So for Josh, I guess for context, I've hidden the fact that I'm a Dampier to the whole party for like the entirety of our sessions, and we're
desperately
level 5.
been hiding it as much as possible.
Very fun.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to make me a quick stealth check then, Luther, just to see how stealthily you scale down the side of the building? Tithla, you don't need to make a perception check. You made one last time. You've been on watch this whole time. You don't need to roll anything again. We'll keep your previous perception, which I believe from memory was, I think it was like an 18 or something. That was your stealth check. Maybe you don't have a perception. In that case, then maybe I will get you to roll me a perception check. I'm just looking back. Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
roll a perception check or an investigation check.
Why not? Let me hit a button.
Why not? 23 for Luther. Not bad.
Perception. You suck, you silly
10.
computer.
Tithla, at this point, I'd say probably you're distracted as the two drunk guards begin meandering down the street, one of them jumping into a bush briefly when Grinner calls out, "Oh, you'll get court-martialed if you're not careful, lads." You have to quickly scurry away from your hiding spot across the street and move into an area of darker shade as the two guards kind of stumble past you. Once they get out of sight, Luther just coincidentally had used this opportunity to quickly run through and get into position. Luther, you find your way back to Tithla pretty quickly. It's very clever. Not a hard task. She's right where you left her, pretty much.
As she's sort of looking, I'm going to try and have my face be the first thing she sees in the darkness.
You need to stop doing this. It's weird.
So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to be like, and then I'll quickly go back out, and then
She goes to punch as you then move back.
Little tiny goblin fist just missing. As Jonor and Theo get to the top of the roof and begin climbing down, I won't have you guys roll athletics checks or anything like that. You roll to get up here.
Great.
With Theo helping you now, no longer in cockroach form, he can help you get across. And as you climb down to the base of the tree and peer around the side of the manor house, you can see Grinner kind of standing there looking around. Grinner, I mean, you did just successfully bluff your way into removing all guards from the Valakovich household.
Do I know that was all the guards?
Well, they said as they're leaving, "Oh, thanks for keeping watch. Someone will relieve you." I think it was Eskel who went, "Oh, thanks for keeping watch, mate. Someone will be back in a bit. We were due to be relieved in 2 or 3 hours. Appreciate it." As he then hiccups from the whiskey you'd been feeding him.
Okay. Do I see the guys coming down the tree? I know that's kind of around the corner, but would I have heard?
No, it's on the opposite side of the house. That's the back of the house. You're at the front of the house. If you can imagine the side of them climbing up a tree in the front of the house, like townhouses all around, windows open, just looking onto them as they go climb up the tree. They did choose a slightly stealthier approach.
So, all right. Any sharp rocks on the ground?
As you look down,
gravel,
there
or
are
that sort of stuff?
the cobblestones in this area, while at the front of the burgomaster's house have been well maintained, that low set wall that the guards had been leaning on, as you look, there's a few chipped and slightly broken rocks. It looks like this wall's been here for a long time. It's not been well maintained. Parts of it, you pick up a broken rock, yeah.
Okay, and the wall, you said it's kind of crumbly and falling apart.
Yeah, it's about waist height stone wall around the front of the manor house, containing a garden. It's decorative rather than functional.
Okay, and describe to me the very front of the manor house. What's it look like?
So large two-story manor house, double doors leading in, 2 sets of 2 windows on the ground floor on either side. So a total of 4 windows. So window, window, door, window, window. The second level, which is, you suspect looking at has been added later on, kind of hangs slightly over the front of the lower floor, creating almost a natural alcove underneath where the door is set in. Again, 2 sets of windows, then a large circular stained glass window, and then 2 more square windows after that.
All right, one more question.
I've described windows because I think I can figure out where you're going with this.
Are there any lights on in any of the windows?
Yes, there are. The downstairs window closest to the door on the left-hand side, as you look at it, you can see a soft, warm glow coming from within, partially obscured by closed curtains. As you have a bit of a look up and gaze towards the upper floor, the farthest right window is open. There are no curtains drawn, and you can see warm candlelight or firelight illuminating the room, along with shadows occasionally moving backwards and forwards inside the room as someone moves around in there.
All right. Okay, that changes my plans slightly. Is there a landing in front of the front doors?
Yeah, I'd say probably like a 5-foot stone landing leading up to the front door with some steps just before it that lead down the pathway.
Perfect. I'm going to use my rock to scratch into the landing.
Yep.
Just on the floor. Your guards are shit.
Cool. Do you write it facing the road or facing the door? So the person who opens the doors...
At least I didn't fall asleep on guard, though.
It's not fair to you. Yeah, I'll write it facing the door.
So as someone opens the door and looks down, it's the first thing they see oriented towards them. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and at the end of that, underneath, I'll say, "Your town hates you."
Okay, brilliant. The text isn't huge to fit all of this in. There's a fair, this is an essay for Grinner, what you're writing out here.
It's a lot, yeah.
This is probably the most you've ever written in a single go. As you begin scratching away and etching into the stone. Luckily, the stone that you have in your hand seems to be quite a sharp edge stone, and the landing probably some sort of basalt. As you just scratch away quite easily, carving in these letters, you leave behind almost like a crumbled white residue, not dissimilar from like a gravelly chalk, spelling out your guards are shit and your town hates you, or just PS your town hates you?
No, and your town hates you.
Your guards are shit and your town hates you. Okay, great. Fantastic. As you finish carving the last S on hates and then move on to the letter U, because would you do the Y or U or just...
He wouldn't even know that's a thing.
Okay, the letter U. As you finish carving it in, you see the rest of your party sort of look around the corner at you. Jonah, at this point, you see Grinner carving something into the stone landing. Theo behind you goes, What is that brute doing? What is going on behind there?
Oh, I don't know where he's gotten his guards to go, but he's at the front. I look around, no other guards. Hey, psst, psst, Grinner.
You can stage whisper. You can stage whisper. Remember?
Yeah. Okay. You good over there?
Yeah.
Well, if Are you doing something good right now, or are we good to go?
No, I'm done, mate. Let's fuck off.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Brilliant. As you guys meet on the far side of the street, a few houses back from the Vlakovic household, and reconvene all together, we're actually going to jump away from the five of you and over towards Killian. Killian, you have been in the town of Vallaki only for a day or so at this point. You've probably been here before. I'll leave that up to you. As you know, you've been in Barovia for a little bit of time. I'd say it's probably very likely you've been to Vallaki at least once or twice before, but your experiences in this town have led you to not generally spend too long here. The Baron Vargas Vlakovic is clearly a psychopath and delusional. He forces everyone he sees to smile constantly. He throws festivals every week, proclaiming that all will be well when people can smile. There's a number of catchphrases that you've heard him say, something like "smiles go for miles" and "use the joy to banish the gloom," things like that. And it's all been a little bit much. And so generally you've done your best to not bring too much attention to yourself in Vallaki and not stay too much before. However, your journeys have once again brought you back through this town. Interestingly, your stop at the Blue Water Inn for a quick drink and a bite to eat has revealed newcomers to the town, unfamiliar folk, one of whom sounds like they may match the description of one of the people you've been looking for that you've lost. A human man dressed in a long coat with a scar on his face and neck. Not too dissimilar from one of your previous party members, if someone was to describe them at a glance. Given this description, knowing that these people are still in town, it might be worth having a quick check. What's the harm? So you spend most of the afternoon wandering around trying to locate these people. A few of the townsfolk have seen them. You know that they were involved with something to do with the Wachter house and the disappearance of Lady Wachter along with one of her children. There also seems to be a lot of work around the town. A lot of the Wachter guards, the private mercenaries hired by the Wachter family, seem to be gathering cats for some reason. You have no idea why. If you were to question one of them, do you reckon that's something Killian would do? Ask it, what are you guys doing?
Not really, no.
No.
He just wants to
Yeah.
get in, get out as soon as possible.
Fair.
One of the Lord's crazy schemes, probably again.
Something weird. For some reason, and watching the sight of a whole bunch of hired, grizzled mercenary killers try and herd cats probably is a little bit funny. And you don't know what is going on with that. It seems very odd. By the time you get a bit of a hint that they might be at the church with Father Dorovich, you head across. Unfortunately, you seem to have just missed them. This group had departed right as the sun had... No, actually, you guys had left closer to midnight, wasn't it? It was closer to
Yeah, midnight.
Yeah, closer to midnight.
Because it was a 1 o'clock meeting, wasn't it?
It was a midnight meeting, I think. So
Wow.
you probably left the church around about 10 o'clock. So yeah, so by the time night had fallen and you were ready to give up, someone had pointed you towards the church, and the Church of St. Andrel and Father Dorovich. Heading there, you meet with the priest, who very happily points you towards the center of town and the Arasek stockyard, saying, "Oh, I believe they had some business at the stockyard. Maybe if you were to head back there, you might catch them. But you're welcome to wait here. They often come back here to meet up. Some of their friends are still here. Not tonight. They've headed out for some other business. But you're welcome to spend the night here. We have some beds free if you need. Otherwise, the Blue Water Inn is as good a place as any to have a sleep."
Thank you very much. I think I'll hang around here for a little bit, and then if they do not come back within a few hours, I will head back to the inn.
Oh, perfect. No problems at all. Well, you're welcome to sit here. I'll fetch you some bread and some cheese, hey? And with that, Father Dorgovich, this elderly gentleman who looks to be probably in his late 60s, early 70s, quite portly, which is a bit unusual for most denizens of Barovia, dressed in very classic, long, flowing brown robes, very kindly brown eyes. He happily just wanders off and meanders back again a few moments later with a half a loaf of bread and some cheese and a knife, and puts them out on the table along with a flagon of wine, and gives you a nod and a smile, and heads back to work on the project, as he puts it. Let's jump back then to the rest of the party while Killian is in the church. The rest of the group, what would you guys be doing as you reconvene? Theo looks towards the rest of you, nods, looks at Jonor's, because Jonor, you've currently got the spell book that you took from
Yeah,
the Book of
we
Black
have
Arts.
one or both?
You
Because
took
we had
both.
the astral. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
we
so you left him his personal spell book. You've taken the Astral Wayfarer's Guide, and you took the Book of
Yeah.
Black Arts as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, we've got some goods here. I'm very happy to say we've had a very good success. Looking around, making sure this is all out of earshot of guards and all that. Our friend who owned the store definitely was telling us the truth. This is a book of some serious magic, and he was attempting to use this and might have fried the mind of the daughter of the Wachter family. Is the short way to put it.
So we're settling on the idea that her mind wasn't split into 9 separate cats. Is that right?
Yeah, look, that's the conclusion I'm going to draw. There's she touched a dangerous circle, and the circle did awful things to her mind. Imagine like a pancake and just smacking.
Sorry, are you saying that it's her fault?
Look,
If she
it's
hadn't touched her circle, then it's sort of her fault because she touched
at
the
this
circle?
point. I'm going to say the victim we're not going to point towards.
a good
it's
idea.
going to be leaving a really dangerous thing hanging around. Just unwise, I would say.
Joe,
Not
no,
as
I want to
a
say
true wizard.
well done on some progressive thinking for once.
Oh, thank you. Okay.
Well,
Gonna
it's
not
much
engage on
improved
that.
from trying to, buy children, but that's okay.
Hey, Luther. How is your scouting going?
On record, just because you bring this up every time.
We
JP,
need context.
that like Jonor offered your character a scholarship to study magic, and you have turned that into this narrative
Scholarship.
of buying
Hey,
children.
do you want to come with me? I'll give you money.
I mean, look, I will say
For a
this.
scholarship.
I will say this: the way Tom approached that conversation,
It was awkward
it
as all
did
hell.
come across a little bit like he was trying to buy.
Yeah.
Context, like, yeah,
More than a little bit.
he was. He
Let's
didn't,
be
he
honest.
didn't- he didn't mean to like say, "I'll buy you." He was like,
'Cause he
in
never
his own
said
way,
those
he was trying to be
words.
nice.
Accidentally said that
He was
he'd
like,
buy me.
would money help? I could offer some money. Like, would that help make up your mind? I think is
Which
exactly
is the
what you
sort
said.
of thing you would say in a subtle way if you were trying to buy someone.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just
All
sit out and say it, would you?
All right, moving on.
And some phrasing.
This gives me a headache every time, and you seem dedicated to bringing it up.
That context out. But
Carry
no,
on.
I look at Jonor. Look, the scouting was all right overall. Didn't really come across much, but you forgot to mention, Jonor, the fact that a few servants have also been vaporized, pretty much.
Yes,
by his,
the creepy boy managed to disintegrate a chimney sweep and a maid, I believe. Theo chimes in.
There's dust marks on the ground where they probably were burnt on the spot. Hand is not. He's got blood on his hands. That's for sure.
I was very close to murdering him on the spot, but then we found out the book that Jonor carries is probably cursed and might be partially to blame for his shit actions.
Yeah, so it's not a clear black and white situation. We gotta consider it a little bit further.
When you guys were actually in there, did you notice any malicious intent coming across from said individual?
He honestly seemed just like a curious, inquisitive 14-year-old boy. But when pressed, Theo, you pointed out that his reaction was, "I want to be strong," or "I want to be great, and I can become powerful with this book." So
Yeah.
there's some sort of maybe like addiction going on. Weird behavior.
I
Well,
should
so
say
what you're saying-
don't touch the book. It tried to make me want it as well. But I am too strong, too beautiful.
If this book is that scary, should we maybe take it back to the church and get Dad to have a look at it? Or is that a like super bad idea?
Ooh, that's actually a really good point.
Actually, you know what? Yeah. Sorry, Tom. Go.
Yeah, no, that's not a bad idea. Any sort of goodness we can distill into this thing would be probably worth a shot.
Yeah, I just mean if that's a really good place. If that's a really bad book, it just sort of.
Well, if we have a chat to the father, he might actually know some ways to purge it of its evil.
Can that wait till morning though? I'm fucking hungry and I'm really tired. We don't have to do that tonight, do we?
Yeah, we've got about a day up our sleeves to do whatever we want with this book.
Also, so just so I can understand all this properly, we're not killing anybody in the house this evening.
Or cats.
That's correct. Yeah.
I think we've reached our objective for tonight. So I reckon we go back to the inn and
Should
have a
we
nice
maybe at least drop the book off? If it is this dangerous and we don't want people to touch it, maybe we don't take it somewhere crowded with people?
Also,
That would be a little bit funny though, wouldn't it?
We have been offered a place to stay at the church if we wanted to. Otherwise, we could go back to the Blue Water Inn.
I get confused.
Well, we don't have to pay if we stay with Father Lucian. He does not
I got
charge us.
something to tell you. I'm not paying either way.
Jonah looks down at her
I don't have
unapprovingly.
I don't have any money. That's why I can't pay.
We all work together. We know you've got money. That's not going to work.
No, I don't have any money. Theo still has all the money.
I do have most of the money, but you have some money, you little shit.
Not for bed.
Okay, then I say we go to the church and we drop off this book and maybe grab something to drink.
Yeah,
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Or what if we go past the inn, grab a drink, go to the church, go see Dad, see if he can help us, and then we get the drink.
What if they don't
Second
let us?
drink.
wait. Oh right.
Yeah, whatever. I could not care less how we do it, in what order.
We'll take away.
Sure, we'll do
Yeah.
that. Let's,
Take away
Alright,
cheese.
Well, yeah, I'd go take away ale, but cheese will do, I guess.
In the interests of not having Josh sit here for a half a session smiling and looking beautiful, you guys walk past the Blue Water Inn, pick up some food, pick up some drinks. We'll figure out gold and stuff after if you like. But it's going to cost you for like a couple of bottles of ale, some bread, some cheese, some meats. It'll probably come to about 3 gold total for a couple of serves of those for all of you.
Doesn't have any money, she'll then foot that.
Yeah, fair. Brilliant. And with that, as you guys begin heading towards the Church of St. Andrel, it is now very, very late. There are no people out and about. By the time you get back to the church, Father Dorovich has gone to bed. The front doors are locked as you go to try them. Before you then remember, there is that side door around the back near the tool shed. As you head on through and open the door, emerging into the Undercroft and guest wing, you see an unfamiliar face sitting there, probably sipping on some of the wine, finishing off the last of the cheese. As you guys walk into the room, Josh, could you please describe your character?
So, standing about 6 foot tall, not quite full elven ears, maybe half elven ears. A lot of grey everywhere, wearing basic breastplate. The left arm is completely exposed and is very heavily scarred and ends in a stump where the hand should be. There's no hand. Has a sword on the back and the other arm is completely, almost like gladiator style, armoured up. Just sat there with a little bit of a flame going on, eating some cheese, and as you all walk in, look towards you. Oh, great.
Would you guys like to really quickly describe what your characters look like for Josh's benefit, starting with Jacob?
Yeah, Tithla is a small little goblin girl wearing her bow across her back and like a little blue cloak.
Jonah is sorry?
well, I was just going to say, do you have your Drake with you?
Yeah.
Yes, I have my Drake that I don't forget about, and he's currently white.
Jonah is a blonde-haired, sort of humanoid, probably like 5'6", 5'7", dressed in robe, likely academic, of that sort, kind of meek.
Cool. I guess I'll go next. So I'm playing Luther. As he sort of walks in, he has like I'm going for like a cowboy aesthetic, if you can't tell sort of by the voice that I butcher. But he wears like a long sort of like duster coat. You can see like a glint of steel. If you have a closer look, I've got a pistol strapped to my side. And yeah, I wear like these like sort of like black glasses, round glasses. I have a sort of like a classic sort of duster, sort of like sort of a Western sort of inspired
Stetson hat as well. Yeah.
Yes, one of those sort of ones. Sort of white hair. Can't really see too much though. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like 6 foot as well, and a bit more on the more dexterous side, a bit more lithe. So not very like bulky. That's Luther.
But the one you notice most of all, Killian, is Grinner.
Yes. Grinner is about 6'4", about 45-ish years old, very grizzled looking. He's got this little dog end cigarette just dangling out of his mouth. He's got this massive, deep scar across his neck that goes right from one side to the other. In kind of very military-esque garb, big navy trench coat, but you notice that there's a lot of fresh patches where any military rank or symbols have been removed. Got sort of a slouch cap sort of thing on, and noticeably no weapons.
There is a passing resemblance. You can see how perhaps people, particularly the patrons of the Blue Water Inn, might have mistaken the descriptions of a tall, scarred man for one of your companions. I'd say probably, Killian, there's a moment of hope as this figure steps in, and then that realization that, no, this isn't who you were looking for.
Great. More fresh ones. Fantastic.
To find the term fresh there, my friend, I'm not sure exactly. You seem to be a face we haven't seen here before, so I guess you sort of fall into that fresh bracket in this town.
You look like you've not been here for that long. There's not enough stink of death around you.
Grinner sniffs his
Thank you.
Well, if sorry, you guys. I was going to do Theo, but no, Grinner.
Who's throwing all these accusations around? Who the fuck are you?
Name's Killian.
All right.
That's a very ominous name.
It is.
I will do it if you guys are being assholes. Killian, I'm Theo. Hello. Is the priest still up, or have you killed him?
He has gone to bed. I have not killed him.
When you say gone to bed, you don't mean like a dirt nap sort of a thing, do you?
I smothered him with a pillow in his sleep.
Okay, we're gonna have some problems if you've done that, okay?
I definitely not, no.
I don't think...
Nice.
I think he was joking. I do not think that was something that he did. I think he would not just tell us if he had smothered the priest with a pillow. I think he would wait till we were asleep and smother us with pillows.
I also just wouldn't say that if I hadn't done it, Maybe
completely straight-faced every time he says it, so you can't tell if he's joking or not.
Nice.
Great. He's got a completely straight face every time he says anything. I can't tell whether he's done it or not.
Grinner's going to stride up to Killian, stand right in front of him, kind of just stare at him for a minute with the dog end out of his mouth, and just put out his hand to shake Killian's hand.
I put out the opposite hand because I vote because stump, so you're gonna have to swap.
Oh, yeah, right. You've done yourself a fucking mischief, haven't you, mate? Yeah, all right.
Yeah, that's the the pot calling the kettle black there, my friend.
Well, I still got both of these ones working, don't I?
Wow.
I can see this is I also have the ability to use my left hand, but that is not something I would like to show in this particular town. So
Ooh, that's cool.
appreciate what I do.
Ooh, is that some sort of a magical thing you're going on there? What's tell me about that? That's very intriguing.
It is magical, yes. It is not tasteful magic, as it were. Again, not something I should be bringing up in a church.
Alright, this group will fit right in with tasteless magic.
Okay, so I'm Tithla, and I'm gonna go and check on Dad and make sure he's not dead, okay?
And Tithla scurries off.
Make sure to take the pillow off of his face.
Tithla starts running faster.
As you sprint up into the priest's room, you see he's fast asleep. No pillow on his head.
Tithla goes and checks that the pillow is under his head.
By pulling it out, or just leave it?
just to like fluff it a little bit on the sides, like, yep, no, cool. Like, she'll touch the pillow and then touch his face and make sure that the pillow is not on the face, and then she'll leave.
Okay, perfect.
So, Killian, our friend Grinner is, the way he's called Grinner because he's got a certain type of personality. Killian, is that a play on words there? Like, is that a name given to you, or is that self-elected? How did this one come about?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? No, it was the name given to me at birth. My full name is Killian Maxwell.
Okay, all right, good. I'm happy to hear it wasn't elected to you. That gives me a bit of assurance. That's very kind. Thank you.
He's okay. He's okay.
Yeah, we know that, Tifla. He was just having you on.
No, you know, because I just told you.
Well, yeah, I know for certain.
Look, you know
I
what,
didn't really care either way, anyway. To be honest.
You know what, Grinner? It's better to just let this one be. I look at Killian. So, I guess the question here is, my friend, what brings you to this town? What's your business? If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to tell, of course, but by all means, I wouldn't mind hearing.
I've been in Barovia for quite a while now. I've come through this town on numerous occasions. It is not my favorite place to be. I try to stay here for as little of time as possible. I travel around mainly. I'm in search of some former comrades who I have lost in my time since I've been here. I had heard word of one of them being here, and I looked towards Grinner. Matched your description, but unfortunately is not you.
Well, how the fuck do you lose your friends? This place isn't that big, is it? Like, we're all trapped in like a giant bubble, right? How do you lose them?
We were ambushed.
So they're all probably dead, right?
I do not know. I was unconscious at the time, so I woke up in a ditch. They were nowhere around. There were no bodies, not even of the people that we had killed. So I do not know if they are alive, if they are dead, if they are undead. I do not know.
Are they the Vistani? The jolly folk of people? No?
It was a bit like yourselves, a very eclectic group.
Who did the attacking though? Was that monsters or?
It was more people in like rags, not wearing an awful lot. You might call them like tribesmen.
Okay, I haven't come across these people myself.
Sorry, what was that?
I don't think any of us have come across those people. So by all means, it's a very interesting tale you've spun. I guess the question is, if your friends aren't here, then where are your journeys taking you next?
I will just keep traveling around until I pick up more information. I will stay here for a few more days just in case there is any more news that comes through the tavern just before the Lord decides to throw his next festival. I will leave. It took me a few weeks to get the last lot of bunting out of my shoes, and I do not wish to do that, especially now that I only have one hand. So,
well, you look pretty capable. We're looking to try and get rid of that bloke. You want to help us do something about that while you're here anyway?
I mean, I would certainly not refuse the offer. Do you have a suitable replacement?
No, he needs that. Just stab him a few times and then someone else pops up.
He means yes.
We actually do have someone lined up. I don't know why Bruno's not divulging that.
Oh, I think I just straight up forgot is what happened.
Which
I think
makes sense. We did just come
friend.
from the inn with a drink, so that makes sense. Dirty a couple in.
Interesting. No, I'd definitely take you up on that offer.
Yeah, because we don't like him too much either. He's a bit weird, to be honest. And it's coming from a bloke named Grinner, so you know.
Have you been present at one of his parties?
No, but we've been close enough to him to know what sort of a twat he is.
We've seen his madness firsthand. There's been a few things happen that just brings a bit of light to certain things, I guess. He needs to go. He's crazy.
Oh, that reminds me, you lot. You won't believe what funny shit I wrote on his front door.
You can
We're scribing.
Yeah, it's going to be good for later. I hope he sees that. I wish I could see his face when he sees it.
What did you write?
Oh, I told him his guards are shit and his town hates him.
Would it not have been easier just to put shit guard, town hates you?
Well, yeah, but that's not... I mean, that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, to be honest, so does it?
So, basically...
I've got a quick question for Grinner.
Oh, no.
Yeah, my apologies. Is there anyone else in this town other than the mysterious new people who've just turned up who might make some sort of action like that towards, the boss in charge? Or is the suspect pool going to be exclusively the 5, now 6 new people who have just turned up?
To be fair,
one of whom has already been in the stocks.
I don't think that's anything to worry about at all.
Okay, cool. That's good then. That's lucky. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
Killian, what's your passive perception? Just out of interest. It's going to be
9.
high. 9. That's not going to be high. Never mind. Oh, good.
No, mine's higher than that. Mine is 14.
14. I was going to say, that makes a lot more sense. 14. Killian, you hear something. Anyone with a 14 or higher hears this as well. For a brief second, could have sworn you thought you heard the sound of stone dragging against stone coming from below the floor. Down in the catacombs.
Did you hear that?
I heard that.
I also heard that. That's interesting. What time? What? It's like what? Probably 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning
like
by now.
2 a.m. Yeah.
Okay, that's.
Killian, you've probably had a nap while waiting here.
How long have you been waiting for us?
It's been a few hours. I was meant to go back to the inn after. I was going to wait here for 2-3 hours, and I was going to go back to the inn. But
while you've been waiting?
No, this is the first time that I've heard it.
Hear what? So what the fuck you hearing?
Just you should be very familiar with it. It was like a stone on stone sort of a sound.
Well,
really?
Does anybody know the entrance to the catacombs?
Some
I'm
of you
pretty sure they're down.
Some of you went there to go and investigate where the bones had been taken from.
Yeah, so that'd be me, Jonor, and Theo.
We can show you where that is. We should probably go and make sure the bones aren't being stolen again. Do you want to go down and I will wake the priest? You guys can make a head start, and I will meet you there with the priest.
Oh, sure, but what the fuck's he gonna do?
Sense.
What's the priest
Maybe
gonna do?
We can do magic.
Please don't wake him up with a pillow on his face.
Look, maybe just Theo. For now, I reckon we'll just let him be. Just stay up here and just keep an eye out. It could be nothing. We'll go down and have a quick look, and if things turn pear-shaped, by all means, bring him out.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a plan. Good
All right.
luck.
We'll close the door and we'll peek our head down.
As you begin moving towards the catacomb entrance, Jonor, you head back into the main section of the chapel. Just behind the dais is the section of stone that is lifted up to reveal the ladder down into the lower catacombs. The stone has been moved and placed neatly beside the dais, revealing the chamber below and a faint flickering light coming from down deep in the catacombs, already opened when you guys get there.
Hey, Killian, was someone over here just before?
Well, I've not seen anybody here. I've not heard this stone be moved.
So no one's come in here. So in the last couple of hours, they've been raiding for hours, or they've snuck past you.
Well, they would have come in through the front door, so the opposite end of the church to where Killian was seated.
Sure.
It's about as far away from where the two locations are on like opposite sides of the church. So the fact that you guys heard anything below you is actually pretty astonishing.
And we tried that front door too, so whoever's come through is locked behind them as well.
Yeah.
Can I stick my head just very gingerly over the edge and look down?
Yeah, you can see blackness below you, Grinner, and the faint flickering torchlight coming from the passageway beyond.
Oh wait, because Grinner's a human. He doesn't actually have dark vision, right?
Nope.
So, how about I have a quick? I'll quickly go in and check it out, and we'll see if there's actually anything down there.
I
Would you like me to
could
come with you?
send somebody else if you'd like. I have a companion that I could send.
Yeah,
I
all
have
right.
the ability to see in the dark.
I don't want to be insensitive, but I thought you said all your companions had perished.
I do not know if one of my companions have perished. This is more of a familiar.
Like somebody you're familiar with?
It's like a pet.
Oh, yeah. No, I got one of those.
He's right next to you.
Put the hand on the Drake that's probably
That you
had
forgot about.
I've never forgot about him.
I'll let
Well,
you say that.
by all means, Killian. But if you're got someone up your sleeve that will help us in this time, I pass it to you, my friend.
I apologize. The father is not awake, so I'd still feel kind of wrong doing this in a church, but for safety's sake, it would make more sense. And I'll take the large water jug that I have attached to my hip, very Final Fantasy X orange style, place it on the floor, pop the lid, and I'll swirl my hand around, and you'll see blood comes out of the pot. And I sort of slap it down on the floor, and an owl made of blood pops out of the blood, out of the... and I'll send it down. It's my familiar.
Owen, when's the last time I actually consumed
Yeah, it's
any
been a
blood?
while since you had a sip. As the this
Tiffler
is-
grabs onto Luther's side and says,
How disgusting is that? It's revolting.
this
I'm
is-
sitting there. You see like the slightest like saliva start dripping
I
down.
was gonna say,
Luther he gets the shakes, but Tiffler
Yeah,
assumes
well, no, 'cause
out of
we've been-
revulsion.
we've been using the addiction table to kind of deal with this. It's just that this is the first time it's been a long time since Luther partook of his favorite drink. Luther, I'm going to need a Constitution saving throw as you have reached. Yeah, it's been a while since you enjoyed some blood. You are at addiction level 1.
10's not that great.
What a tease.
Ten's not that great, Luther. As Killian begins swirling the blood around and pulls it out, as soon as the cork comes off, that smell, that iron, that just fills your nose. Your heart beats a little bit faster, and your vision zooms in on this essentially clay jug full of your favorite liquid. As Killian then dips his finger in, swirls it around, and pulls out the owl, you watch as you almost reach for him in anger as he throws this blood on the ground. What a waste! He's just wasting it in front of you. And then as it slowly begins to form into the owl, you begin drooling very slightly over the side of your lips. Your fangs inside your mouth visibly lengthen ever so slightly. Your eyes get that slighter dark red hue as the it takes all of your resistance not to leap and begin just sipping away at this.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and do it a bit more like, not stealthily, but like nonchalant. I'm going to try my best to walk up. Whoa, that's that's definitely a trick. Do you mind if I inspect it real quick? It's I've never seen this before.
By all means, you may. Well,
I squat down. I sort of have a look at it, and I actually touch it just to see if it's corporeal. Yeah. Like, I want to say, I'm trying to get like a feel for it.
Yeah.
Does it leave any blood on my hands?
I think it is
100% blood.
I was going to say it is real blood, isn't it? So yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't leave blood on my hands. Is what I'm asking.
Yes, it would.
Cool. Oh, that's quite a pile trick. Please continue, my friend. I disappear behind everyone.
So let's get a stealth check to see how well you disappear behind everyone.
Well, no,
I'll go
mean
first.
Is,
I'll wait. I'll go hide behind everyone.
No. Okay, well, I can do the stealth check. What I mean, I'm not disappearing. I'm just going at the back of the party.
Just moving back nonchalantly, trying to play it cool
behind everyone.
While your left hand begins sort of shaking.
I'll still do a stealth check.
Very slightly.
19.
Okay. As you move to the back of the party and go to like just taste the blood. Oh, Luther, it's just not enough. It's a taste, but almost that's worse in a way, because as soon as you finish the tiny, meager portion that's on your finger, there's just almost a hunger for more. My question for Josh is, what's the source of this blood? Is this humanoid or
I would
animal?
say it's definitely tainted blood.
Okay.
It is my own blood, hence scars on my arm.
Oh no, this is bad.
There is if you are obviously with what you are, you'd probably be able to taste. There is a darkness to it, maybe almost a genomic.
I mean,
taste
there's a bitter taste to the blood, and as you sort of finish drinking it, the sustenance that you were hoping to get from this is far lesser than it normally would be, and that bitterness that's left behind in your mouth, it's almost this dark, viscous, gooey blackness that's left behind, this taste of decay and brimstone.
I didn't even think about like the source. Luther has been purely animal for
a while now,
years and years and years, and he had a slight hiccup when he was a bit younger with human blood. I'm not going to delve into that right now, but I've added that into my backstory. So the fact that he's had human blood is very interesting.
Would your background with Lysandra, because it's sort of an evil thing, would maybe the goodness of that counteract you tasting something bad?
No, he's not a cleric of Lysander. No. He's not a priest. He's merely a believer and tries his best to follow her tenets and guidelines. But and you guys don't know this, but obviously for Jared, that's how Luther's been able to stave off the full transformation into a vampire, by abiding by Lysander's decrees and following her example. You've been spared the worser parts of this transformation, but as human blood, ostensibly mostly human blood, goes into your mouth, the hunger you've denied for so long is still there, worse than ever. And that's going to move you up on the addiction table. I'm going to move you up one space on the addiction table.
Perfect.
We will discuss the effects of that a little bit later. Actually, because you've also just drunk demonic blood, I will get a quick sanity check from you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, having a good night here tonight, aren't we?
21.
Though,
you're fine. Yeah, you're absolutely fine. As you...
I will let this slip, though. Purely delectable.
Okay. How loud are you when you say this? Probably quite loud, given that you're a bit distracted at the moment.
A little bit, it's a bit of a slip. Everyone probably heard something, but I will say this: that was not my normal accent either.
Yeah, there you go. You guys, anyone with the passive perception of more than 10, I'm going to say, hears that, and
it's
do
like
with that
because it's from the
information?
back. It's not like super loud. Like you
Yeah.
just. It's almost like a little thing that you like. It's almost like something at the back that you pick up on. And it's like, wait, that's okay. That was strange a little bit.
You see my ears sort of prick up a little bit more than what they already do at something.
Yuna's near the hole anyway, so he's not paying attention to that.
Wait, what was that? Hello, who's there?
Oh, it's
Luther, did you see someone behind you?
What's wrong, Tiff? No, I'm pretty sure that was. No, nothing there at all. I think
I just heard
something's
someone.
playing. Oh, okay. Something's playing tricks on you, man.
It must be down here. We'll go down here.
Yeah, let's
Something
check
might be
down
eating
there.
the bones.
Yeah,
do you think you could maybe send your owl to go say hello?
I send my owl down into the hole to have a little look.
As your owl flaps down into the catacombs, the vision quickly adjusting to the darkness, you see the long, narrow corridor leading into the deeper catacombs. Rows and rows of stone sarcophagi and coffins set into the wall, some partially buried as cave-ins and collapsed roofs have dropped their contents onto and cracked a number of these open. As your owl reaches the end of the corridor, you see an unfamiliar figure. A woman, seemingly in her late 20s, early 30s, with long silver hair, dressed in these very light, flowing light blue silk robes, appears to be seated in the center of the room. She chants softly under her breath. Around her, a small light vortex of almost grey-white light spins softly. Occasionally you glimpse the sight of what only could be described as these like horrified faces, spectres of fear and pain, trying to pull their way out of the light before disappearing back into it and being lost in the pattern of swirling light.
I would have gone into owl vision.
Yeah.
But instead of, most people describe it as their eyes going white when they go into the vision, mine go blood red.
And a little bit of blood sort of like dribbles out the side of your eyes. Yeah.
And I'll,
amazing.
Everything you just said, I will be saying back to everybody else.
Luther, as you watch as Killian cries a little bit of blood, you're like...
I will say this, it is just...
just go up and lick him.
It's like what, the chances of our friend Josh here coming with a character that is so blood-oriented...
I told him nothing about your characters.
It is so coincidental. It's like, oh, that's great. I will restrain myself, though, from jumping and leaping at his blood tears.
Sure.
What a guy.
As you guys hear that description, Killian, your owl sort of like stays back a little bit, keeping distance, and the woman in the center of the room continues to mutter slowly under her breath, the light shining around her. In the very center of the room, up against the wall, is a large stone dais with a red velvet, almost like covering on the top, upon which bones have been placed very reverently. Inside a glass case that covers the surface of the bones. Instead of being interested in these bones, she appears to be focused on the sarcophagi on the left and right hand sides of the wall. Occasionally sort of turning her head, reaching out a hand, drawing a symbol in light, this grey-white light, and then going back to the incantation. I would say you know enough about magic to know that she is casting some sort of spell. Some sort of ritual spell. And given your particular class and magical speciality, I would say
Sorry,
that...
what was that again?
It does seem to be belonging to a particular school of magic, which you have also dabbled in.
A little bit of necromancy, perhaps?
Oh, it may very well be necromancy, which literally translates to speaking to dead. She does appear to be doing something with the dead. Occasionally speaking to them, so... Yeah, something fishy going on here.
How bad would it be, do you think, if the dead rose from the sarcophagus and came up into the church?
Into the church, probably not super good. If they left everyone alone, I don't see it
Not super good. It's a bit of a problem.
Do we know anything about who's in there? Like in the boxes, that is, not the lady.
St. Andrew.
No, well, yeah, but
The bones.
But the other people too. We didn't put them in the box. They're downstairs on the altar thing, aren't they?
I don't know. I've never been in here before.
Well, how about we just put the stone back over the top and forget she's down there?
How?
No, well, we have to go down there. If the bones are down there, we can't leave some stranger with the bones.
Well, yeah, but she can't get out, right? So we just put the stone slab back over the top, put something extra heavy on it, and she can just die down there. Job done.
We
I
would
will
hope that she can't get out.
Well,
I will
know
say
that.
this: the fact that she's down there and even bypassed, a lot of the locked doors, and the fact that the stone slab was in place when we arrived here. The
She
fact
already
that
has bypassed it once.
Exactly. I don't think we can let this go without at least some form of communication. We need to find out who this individual is. There's a lot of religious artifacts and relics down there, as well as the sleeping dead.
What's your what do you see from her down there with your little owly eyes? Right? Is she someone? Do you get a bad vibe, or just someone doing something not so bad vibe?
Do we get a good vibe or a bad vibe?
That's a good question. You're like let's call it your thermometer on good and bad has shifted somewhat over the years of your craft and the way that you work. But I will say that looking at what she's doing and knowing she's reciting some sort of necromantic spell in a crypt underneath a church in a town full of people, it's hard to see how there's an innocent, chill explanation for her behavior. It's as you try and like search your mind, trying to come up with hypotheses as to what she could be doing that's not sinister, your mind kind of draws a bit of a blank. Really, you can't.
You said that she's focusing on two particular coffins.
Looks like she's focusing on the two walls on either side, and there's about
the
12
walls, okay.
coffins set into the wall. It's hard to see whether she's focusing on one or two in particular. You see the head movement towards the coffins. She then draws another symbol, closes her eyes and pushes, and he watches the symbol fades into the vortex around her and then disappears into the vortex. So hard to know whether she's focusing on one or two, but she definitely seems to be focusing on things on either side of the wall. Definitely.
I'll call the owl back, and as it comes back up, I would say push my hands together, but I've only got one hand, so I'll sort of do that with my hand, and it almost collapses in on itself and then turns into a globule of blood and goes back into the vial. I think we should go down there.
Well, all right. How about this then? If we are going to go down there, what if I go down first up and I cause a little bit of a ruckus, and then we'll find out what she's kind of up to, and then you lot can come back me up so I don't die.
So, what type of ruckus are you thinking of?
Well, I hold up the empty bottle of alcohol that I brought with me from the pub. I was just going to hit her on the back of the head with this.
Can I put forward an idea?
Yeah.
In lieu of that, Killian, would you like to come and have a chat with me?
Sure.
Anyone else? Got any? All right.
I mean, you could
She'll
just
grab your hand and start walking down the stairs then.
Okay.
Other hand, yes.
She'll reach for your bad hand and then just probably grab your forearm or something.
Yeah.
Just that, like, really awkward.
Yeah. And she'll
Okay.
say, "Oh, is this okay?"
Do not mind.
Okay, thanks. Anyone? Is it everyone happy if we?
Well, you're already going down there, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, no one said anything. Okay, thanks.
You know,
Bye.
I'm going to cast light on my on a little stone nearby and carry that source of light with me down the stairs. as well.
Because we have two humans.
Alrighty. As you guys begin moving down the passageway, I'm going to bring you across to her.
Nice.
Now, let me know if you guys can see your characters, if you can see your tokens, if you can see things on the map. If anyone can't see anything, let me know.
Yes.
The only person who's likely to have troubles is Josh. If I set it up correctly. He can move himself. Can he see? I think he can see.
Good.
Yes!
I can see, yeah.
It's just, again, I'm a little bit flawed because this is a Lost Archive
Don't
stream,
jinx it.
and we've not had anything go wrong yet.
Oh, and he jinxed it.
I've jinxed it.
Touch on wood.
I refuse. As you move into the room and emerge from the side corridor, staring down into the room, you can see this woman that I described before. She seems to be seated, hovering slightly off the ground, hands still moving, occasionally pulling these wisps of magic up closer, with all of you now moving into the room. I should say the map here, the corridor that you've emerged from is just here. I'll draw some little lines just to really quickly show you. But essentially, you've come through a corridor that leads down towards the south. There. It carries on a lot further, but the map that I have doesn't extend that far, which is very annoying. But yeah, as you begin looking through, she continually pulls these little motes of grey wisp out of the coffins and adds them to this, whatever this magical effect is. You watch as she pauses, holds a hand out, reaches and then gestures with her fingers. These wisps of smoke rise from one of the coffins on the right-hand wall, begin moving and twisting, undulating towards her, and as she grabs them out of the air, hovering still in place, condenses them, holds them up, whispers to them, and then lets them go, drawing a sigil behind them. They then merge into the energy around her.
I might quickly do something, Owen.
Hello?
With describing that, so as Killian and Tithla come down the ladder and we follow suit, I'm sort of at the end. Notice seeing that play out, I will immediately look at Theo and go, Theo, I would...
You left Theo upstairs.
No, that's what I mean. Before I go down the ladder, as I'm going down the ladder and see that happening, I'll quickly pop up and go, Theo, I think you should 100% get the priest up.
I will wake the priest with a pillow on his face. Tell Tithla, I will wake him with a pillow.
Okay, thank you so much. Perfect. And I make my way down. Just, I think we might need that.
Brilliant.
Does this spectre-esque creature notice us?
The woman in the center looks flesh and blood.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Long, no, all good. Long, pale, white hair flowing down across her shoulders, wrapping around her shoulders and torso, dressed in these very fine, light silks. She doesn't seem to have noticed you. If she has, she is not acknowledging your presence as you step into the rear of the chamber.
Excuse me. Hello?
Fantastic. As Tithla calls out, you watch as the hand that she was reaching out suddenly freezes, and the head slowly turns. As she leans forward, her legs uncross, and she steps down lightly onto the stone floor. Barefoot, you see. And
nice to meet you.
Very gently turns around and looks towards you. And you see that she looks quite young, maybe late 20s, early 30s. Beautiful features. And as she turns towards you, Tithla, a beaming smile crosses her face. Well, hello, Dal.
What? I'm Tithla. What's your name?
Othania. What brings you and all your friends down here?
Oh, well, we just heard that you were down here. We heard something going on down here. Thought we'd come say hello.
Oh. Well.
So hello.
Hello.
Owen, can I hold an action? I know we're not in combat, but can I do that?
Yeah.
I would like to, at any sign of aggression, yeet my bottle at her face.
Okay, done. Noted. That's absolutely fine.
Also,
I can see Luther's roll stealth. Yep.
Yeah, so as I was coming down the stairs, well, everyone else is down at the base now looking at Othania, whatever.
I'll move you to
how
the back.
pronounce it. I'm going to use my spider climb when everyone's looking at her, and I'll use it to basically go off the ladder and start scaling the wall and pop up in this corner over here behind this pillar.
It's the ceiling here. The pathway into this room is only about 7 feet, 8 feet. And then the ceiling in this room is about 8-9 feet. This is an undercroft.
He's around and his cloak is like dangling.
Like slapping you guys in the face as he climbs overhead. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize it was that
It's
short.
it's very short. Yeah.
As
it's
I
an
reach the
undercroft.
ground,
Yeah.
I will just stealth, using everyone as obviously they're like shadows and like their main focus. I'll use my stealth to go over here and try and be hidden.
Yeah,
I
just
will
move
also like
past.
to have a hold action. I'll get my gun out, ready to use my pistol at the sign of any aggressive maneuvers to any of these people.
No worries at all. While that's happening, Tithla, you've said your bit. Grinner, you've said your bit. Jonor and Killian. Jonor, what are you doing?
I'm trying to detect the language. I know Celestial. I bet it's not Celestial, is it?
You would be correct. It is not Celestial.
Okay.
The
He was gonna
harsh,
try and figure
guttural
that out.
nature, it sounds very similar to rather than a specific language, Jonor, it sounds very similar to the arcane language that's used to cast spells, which isn't like a specific language per se. It incorporates language from lots of different races, lots of different times, lots of different periods, but it's sort of been amalgamated into this arcane language. It's definitely a spell. She's casting a spell. You even recognize some of the components of it. Some of the words that she uses, like gather, pull, energy. These are all words that you've used in your spells.
For sure. Seems sort of similar to the Durst Manor arrangement we ran into.
Look, I will say...
Do I get similar vibes to that?
No, not similar vibes per se, but there's definitely... So the Durst Manor, whatever that ritual was, seemed intense. Huge amounts of magical energy. This is much more subtle, much more careful, much more precise. Whereas the ritual in the Durst Manor was uncontrolled. It was magic in its most chaotic form. This is extremely precise magic. Delicate,
Sure.
careful, very, very well-controlled magic. This is a master at work.
Gotcha.
And
That's what you would have
Killian,
done is...
what would you be doing?
Yep.
I would have my hand on my bottle with it uncorked, ready to jump into action if I need to.
Alrighty.
If everyone's just hanging out,
Yeah. As you guys sort of all like
we'll
tense
just
up.
take a step forward.
Yeah.
Just
As
keep
everyone in the room, apart from Tithla, basically tenses up, ready for a fight. Othania turns towards you, Tithla, as you step forward. You're welcome to stay and watch if you like. It won't be much longer now. I've almost finished.
What have you almost finished? Can I
Calling
say?
it- Yes, of course. Calling upon the restless spirits bound beneath you.
The restless spirits bound beneath you. How many are there?
If I was to let this run for as long as I could summon hundreds. But we
Oh.
don't have that much time.
Well, what are you trying to do with them?
Oh, the festival of the blazing sun is soon. It has been made
Yep.
clear by my master that I am to disrupt it.
That's crazy. We actually want to do the same thing.
No, really?
Yeah. Genuinely, promises.
That is wonderful. Well, once I have finished here, perhaps you could tell me what your plans are to disrupt and we could coordinate. Work together. My master would be so happy.
I'm just not sure how that would work if you've already finished. I feel like that would sort of pigeonhole us down into your plan and not our plan.
Oh, it is not my plan. It is for the master.
You're absolutely right. I'm so sorry. The plan on which you are operating and representing to execute.
Who's that master?
It's a good question, Greta.
The ruler of these lands, of course. I am hoping to gain his favor once again with this. And she
The ruler
smiles very
being-
warmly and looks towards you.
The ruler being...
Are you gonna?
Yeah.
Hold on, no, right? Because hold on, you're gonna disrupt the festival with a bunch of dead people. Are people gonna get hurt in this?
I'm sure some people will be.
All right, that's good enough for the grinner. There's a bottle going for her face.
Okay. Well, before
I
so
don't think we can... Oh.
okay. What I'm gonna do, I am gonna get us to roll initiative. I will get us to do that. This doesn't necessarily mean we're heading into combat, but I will
feel like
keep us
it
on a
does.
timeline just because we need to know what's happening now that Grinner has decided to unleash. Make sure you
People
click on your tokens and then click your initiative.
Oh, I don't think I clicked on me. But it put me up anyway. How good's that?
That is awesome. Okay, let me just double check. So we've got Killian on 20, Tithla on 15, Grinner on 14, Jonor on 13. Perfect. All right, brilliant. And I'll roll for Athania and for the others.
Yeah.
Sorry, others?
Yeah, the others
26.
being the people upstairs.
Oh,
others.
of course.
Yeah, the others. Wow, that was a natural 20 from Athania. Fantastic. Let me put some music on now. This like Grinner throwing the bottle. I'm gonna say that no one saw that coming. That was very much just because there wasn't like her attacking. It wasn't like anything aggressive. It's just suddenly a bottle just suddenly flies out of the passageway behind you as Grinner just goes, yeah, fuck it, let's go, right, let's go, and then throws this bottle. I'm not going to have any other held actions go off just because of that, because there's no warning for this, there's no build up, it's just suddenly bottle flying. Let's get some music on. Grinner, would you like to make a improvised weapon attack with a thrown weapon, please?
You know that I would.
Don't hold back, baby.
15. 15 is not enough. Grinner, as you just lob this bottle towards her, she just reaches up with a hand lightning fast and just catches it in midair, lowers it down, looks at it, holds it up and looks at you through it, and then drops it on the floor where it shatters into glass around her bare feet. Why did you do that?
I saw that go in a very different way. Yeah. All right. Well, look, I did that because you said that people were going to get hurt, right? And I'm not. Well, I am about that, but I'm not about that when it's not me doing it and it's not the right people.
As you're speaking, Grinner, you watch as she suddenly blurs into this impossible speed. Tithla and Jonor, you feel this wash of air as she runs right through you, right in between the two of you, up to Grinner. Grinner, she looks at you, smiles, reaches out with this hand, and she is going to attempt to grab at you and bite you. Does a 19 hit?
Oh, yes, it does.
She grabs you by the throat, lifts you up, turns your head sideways, and then bites down as these two vampire fangs suddenly descend, and she begins drinking you. Grinner, that is going to be...
Ew.
You okay? What's up?
Ew.
Is that like a... Does she have a disadvantage on that because my neck is so tough from all the scars?
You'd think maybe she would, but there's something about this vampire strength that just doesn't seem to care how tough your neck is. That is going to be Grinner. Woof. That's going to be 16 points of piercing damage as she drinks you. You feel this like coldness begins sweeping across your chest. Your heart beats suddenly that much louder in your ears as she just lifts you up. You're like 6.5 feet, and she lifts you up like you're nothing. Turns your head and bites down. As she finishes drinking you, she drops you like a rag doll to the floor. A little bit of blood still on the corner of her mouth as she turns towards Jonor and Tithla. She looks down at you, Tithla, and goes, "Sorry, that was an interruption. I will finish my thing now." And then she goes and speeds past you. Tithla and Jonor, technically you would have an opportunity attack if you would like to take it, as she speeds between the two of you, rushing back towards the center of the room.
Well,
seeing her,
so I'll wait until
seeing her mess up Grinner there is,
and Killian
not
too.
a
Sorry, and
pleasant
Killian as well.
start.
Yep. Sorry, Jonor, carry on.
He's going to instinctively, he's going to whip out a firebolt. Can I use a cantrip as an attack, or it has to be a weapon
So
attack?
if you're
No,
a
unfortunately
Warcaster
not.
feat, I think Warcaster lets you cast cantrips.
Yeah, it does.
as
Warcaster
opportunity
does.
attacks, but I don't think you have
Sure.
the Warcaster feat.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jonor.
No. Okay, no, he doesn't have weapons out. He doesn't do anything.
Probably just like your jaw just drops as you watch someone run up and drink your friend. Killian, you also get an attack of opportunity if you'd like to take it.
I haven't actually drawn my sword, so
Technically.
technically, technically I won't.
I am going to say that because you were tensed up uncorking your bottle, if you wanted to have like your hand on the hilt of your sword, I don't think it's without reason that you would have had a moment as she rushes up to Grinner, grabs him, and begins drinking him. You would have had a moment to be like, So if you wanted to, in that moment, have drawn your sword, I'm actually happy to rule that that was fine. And same for Tithla drawing your
Almost
dagger.
samurai style, just go shing shing.
Yeah,
Opportunity
exactly.
attack.
Because like this whole thing was kind of triggered quite quickly by Grinner throwing a bottle. Like I'd say that there's enough time for you to have quickly like at least had your hand on the hilt of your sword.
I rolled an 11, so
11 is
not
not
quick
gonna
enough.
hit. I'm so sorry. As you pull out your silvered blade and try and strike down against, Moontouch blade, as you try and strike down against her, you just clash onto the stones behind her. She moves so fast, her form almost blurring out of sight. Tithla.
Does she respond to the attack at all?
She doesn't seem to have even noticed.
All right. Well, Tithla would just sort of try and like grab her forearm and just put a hand and say, "Hey, wait up! Just don't go." And
roll me. We'll do it as if it's a grapple check. Because are you trying to like grab her and stop her moving away, or like what's your plan here? That's what I want to know.
It's probably softer than that. It's probably more of like on the persuasion side of rule set than a grapple side of rule set.
Okay. Do you want to tell me what you're trying to say to her? Because as you go to like grab at her hand, the speed and strength at which she moves just straight out of your grip. But what were you going to say? Because have what you like. Say what you're going to say. Absolutely. I'm happy to have you rule a reaction as like being like instead of taking an attack of opportunity.
You don't have to. We didn't mean it. We can still talk about it. We can be friends. I need new friends.
As you say that,
I
you don't
had
need
a
to
friend
make
who left me once.
You don't need to make a persuasion check, Tithla. As you say, we can still be friends. She smiles and she goes, "Of course." Doesn't seem too fussed about you, Tithla.
Okay.
That is her full turn. That is all she's gonna do. Oh yeah.
Could I possibly use a reaction?
Yeah. Depends on the reaction.
she-
Some reactions have triggers, but yeah. What would the?
Sure. As I see her return back to where she's going to begin her ritual again.
Yeah, it looks like
I'd
it's
have to
not been stopped.
counter?
It's just paused.
Right. Well, if that's ongoing, she's still casting. I was hoping to stop her from that ritual, but with a counter spell.
Ooh, that is a very, very good use of counterspell. Absolutely. What level are you casting?
At 3rd.
Okay, let me quickly pull open. Thank you.
Send it
Yes,
into the
I will
chat.
definitely need you. I'll definitely need you to make me a check, please.
So DC is 10 plus spells level, which is 3.
Yes, please.
It
Oh
probably
no. So you need to make it because you don't know what the. So if you're casting a spell to interrupt,
My mistake.
so you need to make an ability check. The DC is 10 plus the spell level. So just
It's at
just make a
least
spell casting.
14 or
Oh,
more.
21.
Whoa!
Don't even worry.
We're good.
Wow.
I love this idea of
Alrighty.
Jonor, like kind of in this moment of panic, you just throw everything that you have. You just pull the magical energy within you, summon it into your hands, and just throw it out in this blast of.
Holt,
Yeah?
I hate to be that person. I don't think he actually gets any bonuses to this.
Make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. So yes. Or does he not get a plus to it? I think he'd still get a plus to it.
I think it's just the
flat
sorcerer,
roll.
so it'd be just charisma.
Still a 14. That's still enough. Like, even without the 21. So, because it was a 14 roll base plus 7. So 14 is still enough. So that's
Yep, cool.
not a problem, Jonor. As you pull onto this energy and throw it out, you watch as the spell that she's casting suddenly halts. She looks up in just sheer surprise as the spell is just broken. And this almost malevolent look comes into her eyes as she stares down at you, Jonor, and goes, "No. You've interrupted. No.
Yes.
As she
Give
stares
her
down.
Grinner.
She doesn't seem to
It's
respond to
fair
that.
news. Fair news.
That is her turn. Grinner, it is your turn.
It's that
Oh, it's Grinner's go. Okay.
Killian.
Oh,
yeah.
Grinner's 20. Oh, sorry, that's an alt. Sorry. I've got the old token up from Grinner, so I can see something you guys can't. Sorry, it is Killian's go.
Right.
There was a Grinner token invisible to you guys. Thank you, Roll20, once again, for just making my life as a DM that much easier.
It's okay, Owen, because that was your technical issue, so we're okay.
Hey!
Yay!
It's done. Killian, on a
Balance has
20.
been restored.
It is your go.
So, having been in Barovia for a little while, would I know if vampires can bleed?
You would know that vampires can bleed.
Okay, so having seen her speed around like the Flash, I'm going to look towards her, sword hand out, and I'm going to. I think it's time we halted your movement, and I'm going to focus in on her blood, and I'm going to cast Hold Person to try and hold her in place.
Fantastic. I believe I need to make a
bloodbending.
Constitution saving throw. You're bloodbending, nice.
Yes, a bloodbending.
Nice.
It's a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save, even better.
Don't say
Oh my
that.
god, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to show a picture so that you know I'm not fucking this. It's a natural 20. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
It's at the Discord.
Hey, look, it's better for it to be here than an attack.
I'm sorry. You just watch as you go to cast this spell, trying to hold her in place. Something different about her blood. It's blood. It is still blood within her, but it is almost like this dark, viscous, slightly congealed blood, as she is an undead creature. And as you go to freeze her in place, her vampiric strength just overrides this and pushes through.
This is going to be a little bit more challenging than I thought. I'll hold the hilt of my sword, and the blood ruby gem in the center glows as I use my bonus action to cast Hexblade's Curse on her.
Fantastic. I will mark a little symbol for Hexblade's Curse. What looks the most appropriate? The skull, definitely. Fantastic. Done. Do you want to... What would it look like for your Hexblade's Curse? Does like a tattoo appear on her body made out of blood? Does a scar suddenly carve itself, like a wound carve itself into her body in the shape of a symbol? What would your Hexblade's Curse look like?
Almost like a whispers, like a will-o-wisp of blood would come out of the gem on the sword and would begin floating around her, and then would almost like burn a blood scar into her shoulder or neck or something that would be visible that isn't under clothing.
Nice. Perfect. Love it. Anything else on your turn, Killian? I believe that is action, bonus action. Any movements?
I think I will move to this. Move over to this corner here, and then that'll be it.
No worries at all. I will bring us across. I just realized I hadn't brought us across to the map yet, so people couldn't see this, but now they can. Just perfect. Fantastic. Killian, as you move towards the back room, the staircases that you can see on the map, that staircase is not there. Please ignore. Please disregard. Luther, it is your go next.
Cool. So, with all the blood magic being cast by Killian and Grinner being,
drunk.
bitten and drunk, I feel like it's weird because, like, obviously up further when we're up there, I had my little episode. But the moment I find that she's a vampire, I feel like this hatred will almost boil up within inside of me. And I'll just immediately spring forth 10 feet here. And I'm going to use... So, am I hidden? Am I stealthed?
You don't know. Unfortunately, you don't know whether or not she can see you or has seen you.
Well, I'm going to try and do a net attack. But I'm going to do my bonus action quick toss maneuver.
Yep.
And I'm going to try and throw a net at her. Hopefully with advantage, or with advantage.
It is unfortunately not with advantage. You are not here.
That sucks. Because the net is at 15 feet, it will be with disadvantage then. I was hoping that it would be just a flat roll.
Just a flat roll. Yeah.
Once we get to level 6, this will be a bit different because I'll get sharpshooter. But for now, I'll just have to roll with it. So hopefully this will hit 18 and 26.
18 is the AC. As you throw the net, even with disadvantage, that's amazing. As you throw the net forwards, she goes to move out of the way, and the net collides with one of the columns and spins off unexpectedly to the side, coincidentally right where she had dodged. And as it strikes into her and tangles her. She claws against it, trying to pull herself free.
I also like to think that like Killian's like used to trying to do a whole person. She staved it off. She put a lot of her effort and attention to that, and I was able to use almost like that window of opportunity to come in and get her.
Yeah, love it.
Cool. All right, with that, she's now restrained, which means all attacks have advantage against her. And I'm going to get out my pistol and I'm going to do 2 shots into her with advantage.
Very nice.
Woohoo. So 15 to hit actually misses. But the 22 to hit. So 21 will hit.
Yep, and then you got to.
So
I mean,
12
you roll again for the second. Because do you get 2 shots with your pistol? Yeah, so 14, 15 misses.
Well, that's
and
the
then
2 shots.
21, 22. Yeah, sorry, I couldn't see the 14 because it took a second
So
to come across.
12 piercing damage.
Yes, absolutely.
And what I'm going to do is I'm also going to do. You know what? Let's do it. I'm going to just do an action surge right now so I can get more attacks in.
Nice.
Why not?
Nice.
Why not? So another 2 attacks coming as I do another attack action.
Do you get the multi-attack on action surge? I think action surge.
Oh, it's a
just
whole
gives you-
action, and the attack action is an action.
Let me double check. I think you could be right though.
Yeah, you take 1 additional action.
Yeah,
on
one
your
additional action.
turn.
Yep. Then absolutely carry on.
So
12
21
and 21.
to hit, 13
21
piercing,
hits. Yep.
and then I'll do another 2 attacks.
I'm hoping we get to see a critical soon so that I can.
Oh, it'd be great. But,
Let's.
the 15 will miss.
15. Nah,
the
the
natural
second
one is. It's fine. I got 2 attacks on her though. She's currently restrained, which is good for everyone else because that means everyone will have advantage. That's my bonus action done. My main action done.
And your action surge.
The action surge is done. So, yep.
Brilliant.
That will be actually. Oh, that's a good point.
Hello.
That last one, I wanted to go through. I'm going to use a superiority die actually on that last attack, so 15.
Okay.
I'm going to use the precision one. So when you make a weapon attack roll, you're going to spend 1 superiority die to add to the roll before or after the roll, but before any effects are applied. So 15, and it's going to be. I'm going to roll one of my superiority die, which is a D8. That might get me over the edge. Oh wow, that is unfortunate.
That is a 1. Sorry about that.
Chances are decent. I only needed a 3 and up for a D8, so chances are in my favor, but not for that one, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's a real shame.
End my turn there, but I will go back. I'll use at least this pillar to have some break of line of sight.
Okay, fantastic. I will let you know these pillars are too thin to be providing any sort of legitimate cover. Just so you know.
That's fine. Cool. That's my turn done.
Alrighty, as Luther finishes his go with the spell interrupted and broken, you watch as the magic kind of stutters chaotically. The zone of the vortex of light around her chaotically sort of almost breaking out of her control, and you watch as moving out from the walls, these specters begin to force their way through, clawing their way out of the sarcophagi, pushing themselves through the walls, pulling themselves into the room. They look to be under no control at all. As they pull themselves into the room, one of them looks towards her and immediately lets out this horrifying scream before flying towards her. The others begin flying towards the rest of you. That is 1 towards Luther, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, Tithla and Jonah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, Killian. Alrighty, the one that goes for Othania, that is not going to hit her, as the ghost tries to essentially grab at her and break her open. It is unable to do that. Luther, does a 21 hit you? I think it does. You're stretching it, aren't you? Yes. Your armor class is 16. That is going to be, I'm so sorry about this, 11 points of damage. I'll chuck it on your token so that you can see it.
So he's not sorry.
Necrotic damage. I am a little bit. Tithla and Jonor, I'm going to roll a d4 to see which one of you the ghost goes for. Actually, no. Tithla, roll me a d4. 1, 2 is you, 3, 4 is Jonor, and that way I can't be held responsible for who it attacks.
Roland, that's a 1.
That's a U. Alrighty.
Yay!
Does a
Oh no.
17 hit you, Tithla?
Of course it does.
I am so sorry. That is going to be 17 points of necrotic damage. I am so sorry. And Killian, does a... I'm guessing a 9 doesn't hit you.
Do.
Yeah, as the ghost claws its way out of the wall and tries to strike at you, it seems slow and sluggish, unable to strike at you. Something about you seems to be putting it off a little bit. As the ghosts finish their attacks and let out this like horrifying staring towards you, that is their full go. Tithla, you're up next.
Tithla just recovers from the swipe that she's just received, and she points up at it. She says, "That's not very nice, okay?"
Actually, for Tithla, the ghost attacks you by reaching a hand into your chest and then pulling life force out of you. You watch as this glowing mote of energy is pulled out of your chest and the ghost consumes it.
Okay.
Not again.
Dry reaches a little bit. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh. She's going to then take a step back because that's disgusting.
That is going to... Okay, that is going to give the ghost an attack of opportunity, which it will definitely take.
Mm-hmm. It's disgusting.
Yep. Does a... Oh, that's a 21, Tithla. I'm guessing that hits you.
21, that might hit. That might hit the 15.
Tithla, why are you doing this? Tithla, that's 17 more damage. What are you doing?
Easy.
As you go to step away, Tithla, it just reaches through your head this time, grabbing at something inside your mind and pulls it out. This time, the glow of the energy stolen is this gold and silvery color. And as it consumes
doesn't understand what's happening.
I'm going to need a sanity check from you, please.
Pulled out her soul and ate it.
Yes.
She's scared. She stepped back. We'll do
definitely going to need a sanity check, please.
Oh, that one's okay. That's a 19.
19, that's fine. Okay. As you probably at this point you're more afraid than considering the implications of what this is, and you manage to retain your conscious mind at this point. Tithla, as this hand comes out holding this almost like light blue and gold energy and the ghost consumes it again, there's a fuzzy patch in some of your memories.
Oh shit.
Wait. Where did I get this bow from? Anyway. She... What's that called? Hunter's Mark. Cast Hunter's Mark. That was not very nice.
Okay.
I think I liked where this bow came from. Does that? And then I don't know why it rolled. Sorry about that. And then she will shoot at the thing with a longbow. She pull it out and go, "You're making me do this. I didn't want to do this." Does a 12 hit?
12 does
attack.
hit. 12 is the armor class.
Ooh. We can roll the second attack as well. That's a 27 to hit on that second one.
That is definitely going to hit. That is 2 hits.
First one. I don't think I've actually done any Hunter's Mark. The Hunter's Mark is on every attack, isn't it?
I believe so.
The Hunter's Mark damage.
I believe so.
Damage renewed. Perfect. Wonderful. So it's an extra 1d6 on that one.
6.
And then-
Hey, 16
We'll roll
damage.
that
Very
damage.
nice.
Then we'll come over here, and then we'll hit that same button again. Wherever it is. There it is. Done. Poof. I didn't say what all that added up to.
So 16 for the first and 8 for the second.
Lovely. 24 points of piercing damage.
Ostensibly.
Yeah, ish.
Yeah. Anything else on your turn, Tithla?
I then have a rules question,
Hello?
just for your consideration. I don't need an answer. Would the Hunter's Mark damage be considered magical? That's just something for you to muse over.
I will muse on it.
Thank you. I think that seems like a... and then, oh no, she can't tell her Drake to do anything. I think her Drake would be just below
Hunter's
where
Mark
she
damage
currently is.
just increases the damage of the weapon attack. So if you were attacking with a magic weapon, it would be magical. If you were not attacking with a magic weapon, it would not be magical.
Well, I can't remember if it is magical or not, so we'll just assume it is.
Yeah, sure. Why not? In Tithla's mind, you're like, oh, this bow's so pretty. Must be magical.
Pretty much. Oh,
Only a
but what
genius
will
goblin
happen-
crafter could have made this bow.
But what Tithla will do is that first attack,
Yep.
The Drake will infuse into that. I'm sorry, I'm still
Okay.
remembering the Drake.
Yeah, we do try and remember these at the time that they're.
Okay, then the second attack.
Okay, sure. And you're gonna add some elemental damage. I believe it's a white Drake at the moment, isn't it?
It is.
Which will be cold damage. That I will give you. Sorry, I will put your Drake on the actual.
Thank you. So, causing it to take an extra 1d6. It's an infused strike.
Yep.
So I guess that's up to you if then that whole strike is considered magical or not, because
It is up to me. Yes.
So that was 5 points of cold damage from the
5
Drake's
points of cold damage. Nice.
reaction.
Cold damage, you say?
Yes.
You watch as the icy elemental damage cuts across the ghost, leaving not a scratch.
Oh, fuck this. I'm nearly dead for this.
Does
Right, I'm
almost
done. I give up.
as the icy breath of the ghost crystallizes your breath in front of you, causing your
It's not like I looked at the
exhalations.
ghost and said, you know what, I'm going to choose cold damage here. This was...
Chucky, we'll chuck you Drake.
To be fair, you're almost dead for your commitment to the bit. Not,
Yeah.
not
And
for any
look,
reason.
I'm going to be honest, not the first time, probably not the last.
Definitely not the last time. Grinner, it's your turn. And thank goodness
Speaking
the
of,
party don't have a cleric, because heaven forbid they have a healer.
Well, speaking of being committed to
I'll
the
be
bit,
I'll be a healer when I re-roll next week.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
so Grinner's kind of on the ground, a little bit stunned by this whole situation.
Yeah, the you being dropped was kind of like for thematic effect. You're not prone. That was just more for the horrifying description to give you guys a bit of fear. But you're not starting this round prone. You are standing.
Okay. It wouldn't matter anyway. I've got 40 movement, so I could get to her regardless. But that's all good to know. So I think Grinner's going to kind of look down at the mark on the back of his hand and just sort of whisper, "Well, Rose, Ford, I think, I fucking hope you kids can do something about this." And I'm going to run directly at her, given that she is all wrapped up.
And the good thing is, no opportunity attack.
That's
Already
exactly
taken
right.
Already
That's
took it on
exactly
Tiffler.
right.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, already took it.
Is she standing up in the net, or what's
Yes,
happening
yeah,
with
she's
her?
standing up in the net. She's not prone.
Okay, and she's still kind of flailing around.
Yeah,
with it?
yeah,
Is
she's
she
flailing as the
tottering?
she's flailing as the ghost tries to reach into her and pull out her life essence. Yeah.
So she seems kind of unbalanced.
She seems like she's a bit distracted.
I will say this too. You have advantage on all your attack rolls.
Good. Okay, I am going to rage, and I'm going to try to grapple her ankles.
I love you, like rush up, activate your Kratos rage, and then drop prone and grab her ankles.
Well, no, I want to stay standing up if I can and bend down to grab her ankles.
So you squat,
Yeah.
grab her ankles.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, sure. Do you want to make a grapple check for me? I will. I'll have her roll a contested check.
I sure do. What do I do for a grapple check?
So it's
again?
an athletics check contested by her athletics or her acrobatics, her choice.
Cool. And this would be with advantage because
It is a
raging?
special attack. It would be with
Oh
advantage.
yeah, grappling is
because
an
of-
actual attack. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Cool.
Not because of the rage. I believe it'd be advantage because of the net.
Right.
23. Because it's technically an attack action. It's a special type of attack.
I see.
Grinner, just grab her ankles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I don't believe I can do anything else on my turn. I do technically get 2 attacks, but I don't know
But if
how
you
you
do
wanna
your
work that.
action as the grapple, then that's not an attack. It's a special. It's a use of your action, I believe. Yeah.
that's fine. And that's all I'm doing, I guess.
Yep.
I'm just going to squat there with her ankles.
What is this plan that is unfolding? Jonor, your turn. Quick fireball, Jonor.
Jonah's-
Grinner's right there.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Yeah.
with the grapple, when you want to grab a creature or wrestle with blah blah, you use your attack action. If you're able to make multiple attacks with attack action, this attack replaces one of them.
Oh,
So you
carry
actually
on,
get an
Grinner. Apologies, my bad.
Amazing. Good. I would like to.
Decorationals.
Well, no, I'm holding onto her ankles. I want to pick her up by the ankles and swing her into one of the poles.
What's your strength, Grinner?
Well, now that I am raging, it's extra good strength stuff. But my strength is 17.
Make me an improvised weapon strike. I'm going to have her be the improvised weapon that you swing against the pole. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh, nat 20.
Is it really?
It was.
Oh my god. Okay, so Josh, we use the better criticals where rather than doubling the dice damage, you get a full dice roll. So if it was a D8 and you roll a 4, you'd deal 12 damage because you get the 8 plus the 4 that you rolled. So
It does make crits against us more deadly, though.
crits, because the whole point of crit is that it's supposed to always be good, and so this is my way of making it always be good. So
that one.
that is going to be. I think a lot of people use it. It's a pretty common one nowadays. So Grinner, that's a D6. You rolled a 3 plus 3 plus another 6. That's going to be 12 bludgeoning damage. Yeah, just slam her against the pillar.
Two things.
Hello.
First thing, do I put her through the pillar?
No.
Second thing, does the ghost get an attack of opportunity against her, seeing as kind of
No,
she's
'cause
flying
you're not-
around in her
'cause you're
space?
not-
It's a force movement.
Because you're not picking her up and but not even because of that. I'm for flavor. I'm allowing this, but you're not actually mechanically picking her up and swinging her around like a weapon. I'm
Right.
using the same mechanics as you would if you had struck her with the pole or like grabbed her head and slammed her against the pole. Because technically you're using the pole as the weapon rather than her per se. But for the flavor, it's you like just picking her up and swinging her against the pole as hard as you can. Yeah, for flavor.
Like a really dirty blanket. I'm just trying to dust her off.
Like a really dirty blanket as you slam her into the pole. Unfortunately, that is bludgeoning damage, which means the net is not destroyed. It would need to be slashing damage. As you slam her against the pole, the net stays wrapped around her, and you just hear this, ah! As she is slammed into the pole, screaming. That is your full go now, Grinner. Jonor, what would you like to do?
All right. Seeing that ghost just in front of him have a big old swipe at Tithla, I imagine he sees that cold sort of wafting out in front of him. He's going to feel a bit cold, and he'll just put his hands up in front of him, just cast a firebolt right in front of him as he's sort of like stepping away into the distance. So I will cast that. All right, 22 for a firebolt.
Very nice. That is definitely going to hit.
And that'll be 5. Not the best roll, but
No, that's still good. So sorry, just confirm. So you're targeting the ghost that was right in front of you?
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I will actually need you to roll that with disadvantage, sorry, because that is a ranged
Within-
cantrip.
yep, that's fair enough. I'm just going to cast it again. Ignore the damage.
17 is still enough, so we'll take the 5. Oh, that's a
Cool.
shame because you rolled more on the second damage. So we'll take the 5
That's
fire
all right.
damage. So that's 5 fire damage. Brilliant. As you burn this ghost with the flame, you watch as probably, Jonah, your experience with ghosts would tell you that fire probably shouldn't do any more damage to this than normal. But something about these specters, almost inside of them, you can see the mummified remains of the bones still hovering within the spectral form. When they catch a light with the fire, you watch as it burns hot, cutting through parts of the ghost as their torsos begin melting open.
That is terrifying. He's going to take steps backwards, and he's going to use his little force push with the telekinetic. As he's walking backwards, he sort of steps between Tithla and the familiar, and use the push away for that creature there, probably into the pole behind it, just shove against the wall.
Yeah, I think that means it needs to make a, was it a strength save to avoid being shoved?
Yeah, against 15. DC 15.
That's a fail. As you push it, it goes through the pole. It is partially incorporeal. As you shove it, it's just pushed backwards through the pole by your ridiculously strong mage hand.
Neat.
Or your rage hand, as I think we've been calling it recently.
Rage hand.
Rage hand.
Yeah. That's it. He stumbles backwards and gets away from that thing. And that's
Killian,
it for
this
him.
is your first time seeing Jonal's mage hand. Rather than like the standard white glove, it looks like this mass of pulsing muscle. You can see more vein. There's more muscles in this hand than in your entire body. And as it clenches, this like knuckle crack goes around, and then it reaches forward and just pushes the ghost through the pillar. Veins bulging on this hand. It looks like a slightly like hovering, dismembered, extra muscular hand. Almost imagine like the Thing from Adam's Family, but from a gym bro.
Very impressive.
And that's it for Jonor.
Owen, can I backpedal for just a quick moment? Yeah, I know you might not allow it, but I've seen that I have something called the Crusher special. I don't know what that is entirely, but basically, once per turn, when you hit a creature with an attack that deals bludgeoning damage, you can move it 5 feet to an unoccupied space, provided the target is no more than one size larger than you.
Yep, you can yeet her back 5 feet, that's fine.
Yeah. Can she actually go, like, diagonally... go one to the right.
Oh, this
Wrong way.
There you go.
Yeah. And, like, down one. Sorry. Yeah. As if I've just smacked her into that pole. Picked her up and...
Oh, sure, that's
smacked
not a
her.
problem at all. Easy peasy. Jonah, that's your full turn.
That's it.
Othania. Othania is not a fan of this net. She can use her action to make a DC strength check, or she could just cut it. Yeah, she's going to use one of her attacks to just cut the net. Yeah, she just watch as she reaches up, her fingernails growing long, and she just slices down the center of the net, pulling herself free. And then as she turns towards you, Grinner, she goes, clearly I did not take enough from you. And then she goes to bite you again.
So I'm still holding onto her ankles. Does that change anything?
You're grappled into her, but she can
Okay.
still attack you. Because I'm pretty confident grapple doesn't
It
change.
just means
Yeah, it just means
you're
run
closer
away.
now for her to bite you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I'm down the wrong end of her body.
Grappled speed becomes... Yeah, but you just watch as she just bends at the waist.
Oh, I hate
bites
that.
you.
Who can do that?
Most people. That's what the waist is for. I know
And
you've
not to
got...
mention,
Yeah.
she's a vampire.
Grinner. Oh, Grinner. Grinner. 22. That's going to be 10 points of damage, Grinner, as she just starts draining your blood again. She grabs her
Fair
ankles.
enough.
Because you're squatting and holding her ankles. She just bends down. She doesn't even have to bend that far. She just bends down slightly. Your neck is exposed with your head down as you hold her ankles. As you show her your neck, she just reaches down and then bites the back of your neck and begins draining your blood. Like, easy as for her.
At least this time you're raging, so you get half damage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think
my
of
God,
that.
Raph.
Thank you very much.
I was
Killian.
doing that more as an observation than a tip, but cool.
Oh, man. Killian, please show these people how it's done.
I'm going to ignore the wraith in front of me, so I've got the curse on Nathania, so
Yep.
I'm going to move away from it. And that's going to be an attack of opportunity. And I'm going to
Yeah,
move
as soon as you
towards
move
her.
out of range, it does take the attack of opportunity. Does a... Oh my god, I'm so sorry. That's another natural 20. I'm rolling really well tonight. This is the best I've ever rolled.
Unfortunately, I'm wearing adamantine armor, which means I ignore crits.
Doesn't affect. That is
Perfect.
just
Ooh.
going to be 6 damage then. That is the... I rolled 2 1s out of my 3d6 then.
Huh.
That is
Oh wow,
frustrating.
that could have been way worse.
Yeah, it could have been awful. Yeah, that's only going to be 6 damage.
As I am running towards her, let me just quickly check this. Yes, I pop the cork on the
Sad.
bottle and I begin swirling the blood around, and it encompasses my stumped hand.
Yep.
And as I get close to her, I stab forward as it forms into a blood blade. I'm casting Shadow Blade to attack her.
Amazing.
Cool. She's gonna love you.
Yeah, she's going to be
So-
very happy about this.
It's not going to be. I'm going to aim for her mouth. I'm going to try and ram it in her face.
Get between her and Grinner, as Grinner is currently being
That's
drunk.
17 to hit.
Because
unfortunately.
she's
It's not
grappled.
advantage.
Because
Is
she's
she
grappled.
still restrained?
No, she's just grappled.
It's just 0 movement, isn't it? Not advantage on attack.
Just the
rolls.
0 movement, so no advantage on the attack of opportunity. 17 is just not enough. Just.
Fine. That's that done. Yep, that's my turn.
Do you get anything bonus for Hexblade's Curse? No, it's just damage, isn't it?
No, it's just damage, yeah.
Yeah, just
And
damage.
crits as well. It gets
Yeah.
19 and 20.
That's right. Luther, it's your turn.
Cool. I have this ghost in front of me. Now, with the stowing of weapons, Owen, how do we do that again? Do you do that as a full action, or you do it as like a free action, or
So to like holster a weapon or pull it out, normally we've been ruling that to just do one of those, as in like to holster or pull a weapon, normally it's a free action just to keep combat flowing and to keep things happening and to also avoid you guys just walking around with weapons drawn. But to put it away and pull out a new weapon, I think I've been ruling it as a bonus action to do both.
all right, let me see just real quick if I need to do any bonus actions. No, that's all good. I'm happy for that. I'm going to stow my pistol, and I'm going to bring out, because like I have a ghost in front of me now. I'm not exactly certain that this will work, but it's close combat anyway, so I'm going to actually bring out my silvered short sword.
Yep.
Hoping that the fact that it's silvered might have a bit more of an effect on the ghost in front of me. We'll find out.
That's a valid hypothesis. Let's test it, shall we?
Cool. So I'm going to do 2 attacks on this one.
Welcome back to this episode of Mythbusters. We're going to test if a silvered sword kills a ghost. I don't really think ghosts exist. I don't believe in that.
Alright, so
Is that a mustache? Is that what was happening?
Have you guys
That
not
was the
seen?
Jamie mustache.
Have you
Come
not
on.
seen Adam do the
Oh,
Jamie
Adam, I think
mustache?
you're fine.
Come on, you're not a fan of Mythbusters if you don't get that reference. 20 hits, absolutely.
I'm going to chuck in a superiority die.
Okay.
I'm going to do a menacing attack. I'm not sure if it actually can be frightened, being undead, but that's fine because I want
worth
the
a go.
extras.
Yeah.
I want the extra damage from the superiority die anyway. So, okay, silvered. Let's do damage. 10 piercing damage.
Yep.
So rolled max, and then I'm going to roll a d8.
For your superiority die. Yep.
So that adds another 3, so it's 13 piercing damage.
Yep.
I mean, like, is it frightened?
It does. It's immune to frightening damage, but
That's fine.
that use of the silvered weapon definitely seems to do something, as it does a lot more than what you would expect. As you cut through, you slice the ghost in half. Half of it still reaching out, trying to grab at you, but half of it just dissipating into mist.
So is it still up?
Still up, barely.
All right, let's attack it again. 11 to hit will miss, unfortunately.
11 will miss. 12 is your magic number.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to blow all my superiority die. I'm going to do a precision attack on it because I really want to try and get this out off me so I can go and help everyone else. May as well blow everything. Cool.
That's a
So
t-shirt.
I'll do a d8. 8. That goes to 19. I think that will hit.
That's definitely going to hit. Absolutely. 10
So
damage.
it's 10 piercing damage.
As you just slice back again, you watch as the ghost leans back, lets out this wordless, soundless scream, and fades away into nothing.
Perfect. With silvered short sword in hand, I think it's actually going to be pretty worthwhile, this weapon right now, than my pistol. I'm going to
Need some silver bullets.
move. Yes, definitely will start doing some of that stuff. Definitely want to also get it my weapon magical at least. That'd be really good too. But that's neither here nor there. I'm going to move up and at least in front of Tithla.
Yep.
Because she's taken some hits. I'm going to use myself. I'm actually going to go. That one's already in combat. I'm going to go here.
Yep.
So if these two come for
Yep.
Tithla and Jonor, I'm putting
Absolutely.
myself as a wall between them.
Yeah, basically standing as
Cool.
a bastion in front of Jonah and Tithla. It is the ghost's go. The ghost that was attacking Othania now has easier prey standing right in front of it, which is Grinner. I'm so sorry. When you moved her away from the ghost, like, you're now the easiest prey. You just watch Grinner from behind. This hand emerges through your chest, holding some life essence, and then pulls back in through you as it literally reaches in from your back, from behind you, and attempts to try and attack you. No, that's a natural 1. That is going to miss. Don't even worry. That description doesn't happen. Grinner, as you're sort of standing there, nothing happens. You don't notice anything. Nothing's going wrong. It's all going according to plan. Killian, the other ghost that you are right next to, is going to have a go at you. 14. Is that a hit?
Against me, sorry, no.
No, that is not a hit. No, not this time, you motherfucker. No. That is a
Cheerio,
miss.
chaps. That's a no.
That's insulting.
I'm proper Victorian British there. Or
Oh, my apologies.
Just for that, Tithla, the other ghost zooms towards. No, the other ghost moves up towards you guys, but Luther is the closest, easiest prey. It reaches out, trying to grasp at Luther. Luther, 16.
That's my AC.
Oh, it's just a hit. Damn.
Hey, look, that's fine. I did this with this, in mind.
That's okay. It's only going to be 9 damage. I rolled 2 3s and a 1.
Cool.
As it reaches out and grabs into you and pulls out your life essence. Something about your life essence looks a bit odd. Instead of this beautiful golden light, it's almost this slightly darker black red. It extracts your life and then consumes it. And you watch as the ghost begins to take on this slight blood red appearance as it drinks of your essence.
Okay, so everyone else who has had this effect happen,
Just
they've
Tifla
all
so
had
far.
the similar, but Tifla had like the sort of golden aura thing going on. I have like a nervous sweat as I see the stark difference.
Yeah. Tithla, it's your go.
As a player, I've just put together that you're rolling 3d6, which has a max of 18 for those attacks, and you hit me for 17 twice. It's
just
so
as
a
bad.
player, that math just happened
so
in the back
sorry.
of my head just before,
Yeah.
so that's funny. I love it.
Here you
Anyway.
go. I'll send you pictures of them. They're great fun. Here you go.
Oh, I believe you.
Oh, no. But I also want you to see, like, because the dice that I rolled for that, it's almost
he
max
wants to rub
damage.
it in, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
rubbing
yeah.
it in.
Guilty. There you go. Enjoy.
All right. Well, seeing as how Tifla now has a guardian angel in front of her protecting her, maybe she won't heal herself and she'll just take pot shots at the hunted mark.
Now that you have a meat shield.
Nope, this is cool.
Pretty much.
Fire away.
She says, Luther, are you going to stay here and help?
That's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Just, can you open your legs a little bit further? And then she starts to shoot through your legs.
Just combined with your statement earlier.
I get even more nervous sweating.
Titla, go for some shots.
Great. So she'll have her first attack. She's got Hunter's Mark on these.
24 is going to hit.
Hunter's Marked.
Yes. The one slightly towards the one that's attacking Killian right now.
Yeah, sure. I can't see Killian, so I'll just take your word on that. Because he's behind the post. That is... Oh, yep, that's 5. Damage?
24 to hit, 5 damage. Yep, absolutely.
Nailed it. Okay. Oh, and we just rolled... Yep, that's a 14 to hit.
That's the lowest possible damage you could roll on your longbow, by the way, 5.
Yeah, so if it helps, I got a 5 on the damage and then rolled a 5 on the attack.
14
roll.
does hit,
14.
though. The good news is 14 hits.
Lovely. That's a 9 damage.
9 damage.
And then Tifla is going to... How did Tifla...
Oh, do you need to add your Hunter's Mark damage?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Merciful DM, who is not at all scary.
I'll take it.
That's a 2 on the first one and a 6 on the second one.
6 on the second one?
Yep.
Titla, how do you want to do this?
Tifla is just like, oh my god, I'm running out of arrows. She's using the bow to slightly move away the pants of Luther to try and do it. And she's just there's material there. You're just moving that out of the way.
I just had the weirdest thing of you being like the material's in the way, so you take the arrow and cut the material out of the way so that you get a good view. Sorry, carry on.
And Tifla says, my bow knows where it came from, even if I don't, thanks to you. And now take this.
Nice.
In classic Tifla fashion, started great, didn't finish so well.
Fantastic. The arrows right through the center of the ghost's head. It just splits the ghost, this almost like ripple effect, causing it to dissipate outward from that point. As the headless body turns away from Killian towards you, Tifla, the second shot goes right through the chest, and you watch as the ghost just sort of like slowly begins falling apart, wisps of white material and smoke just dropping away from it as it fades away into nothing.
Ha ha! And then she's going to
It's like the Goblin Mario. Ha
ha! Put a hand on her Drake and say, "Bite that one." And she
Bite
points.
that one.
Oh, and she's going to move her Hunter's Mark to the other one that's next to
Yeah,
Luther.
easy peasy.
And then, get her Drake that I can't control to step up and bite that little beast.
You should be able to control your Drake.
I think it's a bonus action. You can command it to attack.
Yep.
Yes, and then it moves
On
directly
its-
after my turn.
yeah, after
It
your
has
turn.
its turn. Yeah.
And if you don't use your bonus action,
It just dodges.
Yeah.
Yeah, you command it, and what do you command it to do? To attack?
Yeah. Eat that one.
Go for it. I think you get to roll with your Drake.
Yeah, that is a 12 to hit.
12 is the AC.
Oh, go me. I'm the best.
Now,
I mean,
just
go
need to
Drake.
confirm really quickly. What type of damage is this dealing?
It does piercing. It's piercing.
Does piercing? Okay, cool. That's
Oh,
fine then.
okay, nice.
3 damage.
1d6 plus
Oh, yep.
3 piercing damage. And then
Is it
roll.
just a d6? Is it plus anything?
Yeah, plus proficiency bonus, which is a 3.
Oh, so 6 total
points
damage.
of piercing damage on that one.
Nice. Very nice, as the Drake
Nice.
and then tears off the leg of the ghost.
Lovely.
Cool. Grinner, it's your turn.
So,
Hello.
carrying on with the dirty blanket motif,
Yeah.
I'm going to flick her upwards into the roof.
Yep.
And then flick her down into the floor.
Make two improvised
attacks.
weapon attacks, please.
Yeah. And also on that,
Grinner has the Tavern Brawler feat, if anyone was unaware of that.
with the first attack coming through, my the symbol on the back of my hand begins to glow.
Yep.
And 2 little kids are suddenly there and harrying her as well as I use ancestral protectors.
As you pull the ghosts of the Durst children from
That's
the
right.
7th layer of hell. What?
So, whilst raging, the first creature you hit with an attack on your turn has disadvantage on any attack that isn't against you. And
nice.
when the target hits a creature other than you, that creature has resistance on the damage dealt by the attack.
Brilliant. That is a great use of this feature. Roll me some attacks, please, and let's deal some damage.
Yeah. Attack 1. Ugh.
17 is just not enough.
Is that advantage at all for any particular reason?
Is that you hoping?
Yes, it is.
That is a negatory on
All right.
on that.
Let's try number 2. Oh, just as good.
Natural 1. Just drop her. As you slam her up into the ceiling, you kind of let go and lose the grapple as the natural 1 punishes you for your attempts to slam her into things.
And not only that, but the ancestral kids don't show up because I didn't hit her.
As you're like, children, come and help me, please. Nothing happens. Killian, just look to your left as Grinner begins like pleading for children to help him.
I thought I was strange. Okay.
Alrighty. Anything else on your turn, Grinner? Or you will?
I think Grinner's just going to look around a little disappointed, to be honest, and probably try to plug his neck holes.
Yeah. Jonah. Come on, Jonah.
He's
Let's
going to.
see some big spells. Come on, wizard.
He's moving around the side of the area here. He's seen the blanket get thrown around the room and a bit of air pushed around. What he's going to do, he's going to get his push arm. He's going to push into this ghost just above.
Yep.
Push it. Try for a push.
Yep.
And then launch another firebolt at it.
I need to make a strength save, don't I, for the ghost?
Yeah, 15.
Nah, it's a fail. Yep. You push it straight towards Athania.
Yep, fair. And then I hurl it a firebolt at it. So it gets pushed by the thing and then just crisps up everything.
Jonah, you must have some first level spells, mate. What is this? Second level spells?
I have this and Shatter in like an enclosed catacomb.
You've got to have more spells than that. Well, you're a wizard.
I have 2 damage spells. I will say
the counter spell I think was
so good.
Helped us. So
well, she's not in control of the ghosts, which was that's fantastic. And they're also half health, which is also kind of helpful too. Neato. Jonah, you deal a huge amount of fire damage as the ghost catches fire and begins burning away. It seems very damaged by this.
That's all that he does.
That's all she wrote. Othania is having trouble picking between Grinner and Killian. There's no ghost children demanding that she attacks Grinner. She's going to roll a d4. Josh, could you roll a d4 for me? 1, 2 is you, 3, 4 is Grinner. And this is how I avoid taking responsibility for attacking people.
Unfortunately, I rolled a 4. Sorry,
Grinner.
Yeah, that checks out.
That checks out. Grinner, that is going to be a 13. That misses you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
And the second attack, 15. I think that also misses you.
Ooh, no, it doesn't.
What's your armor class?
Nope, my armor class is 14.
Oh, so that's definitely it. Never mind then.
I am a big fleshy man.
It's alright, it's the minimum damage I can possibly roll. That is 7 damage as she claws away at your chest, cutting through and scraping against your ribs. You feel your rib bones vibrate as her claws swipe down your chest.
Is it like xylophone noises?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, raging.
Oh my god, Brad. Seriously.
Spooky, scary skeletons. That's her action. She is then going to... There's only 2 ghosts left. You guys have dealt a little bit of damage to her.
Yeah, and halving 7, is that 4 or 3?
It's always rounded down for D&D, so it's 3. Always round down. Always round down. She's going to do... You watch as she mutters something under her breath and casts a little spell, but you're not sure what that was or what it does, because no effect seems to happen straight away. Killian, it is your go.
Seeing her mutter under her breath, I'm going to take a strike at her with the shadow blood blade thing that I have.
The Hemomancer's Scimitar, shall we call it?
Yeah,
What a
that's
name.
20 to hit.
20's definitely going to hit. This is a Moontouch sword, isn't it? Oh no, this is your blood sword.
This is blood sword.
It is. Oh no, it's actually not Moontouch then.
Yeah, no. But that's okay. That's okay. That's still gonna
That
be
is
awesome.
9 points of
Psychic damage.
psychic damage.
Oh wow, that actually was like a 1 or a 2 there. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's rough.
As you just stab this sword into her, she lets out this scream, clutching at her head as pain racks through her.
12 points because I get the +3 from Hexblade's
Your
Curse.
Hexblade's Curse, absolutely. That's necrotic damage, isn't it?
Yes, I want to say.
It is, yeah.
So Hex is necrotic. Hexblade's Curse, I think, just sort of takes on. I don't actually really know what damage type it gets, to be honest.
No, it just says +3 damage, +3 bonus damage
it's
to rolls.
psychic
so
damage.
psychic.
Then it's going to be the psychic damage. She screams louder, slightly, as the pitch goes up 1 extra step as the Hexblade's Curse kicks in.
That is going to be my turn, yes.
Alrighty then. Luther, you got a spirit in your grill.
Okay, perfect. I'm
Tithla
going
to the left of you, Jonah in the back.
Yes.
Here you are, stuck in the middle of
Jonah will run away. I'm going to second wind, so let's just do that. So it's 1d10
we
plus
could do a
5.
good cover of
Damn, that sucks.
Tithla to the left of you, Jonah in the back. Here you are. Like, it actually works. Carry on, sorry.
All right, so 7
hit points.
with second wind, so not that crash hot because it's a +5, but that's fine. I'm going to do 2 silvered short sword attacks into this ghost. So let's do the first one. 14 to hit.
That hits.
That is 7 piercing damage.
It's not. It's a little bit more than that. As you strike through, you watch as the arms and part of the torso again are just severed off this ghost as you strike through it.
Perfect. Still up?
Still up.
All right, we'll do another attack. 22 to hit, 6 piercing damage.
Luther, how do you want to do this?
Cool.
Should call you the Ghost Cutter.
Honestly, I'm going to do a quick flurry of blows. I'm not really paying much attention to the ghosts. My eye has been on the vampire in the room the entire time.
Yeah, just just in the background, almost like
These
you're playing
are-
Skyrim VR. Just
These are like I've been looking at the vampire, but then
Yeah.
I put, because I built a rapport with everyone in the party, I put my hatred of vampires to the side. Make sure my allies are safe.
Yep.
Now that they are, I'm going to run up next. I'm going to run up. So where am I? 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm going to get here. I'm going to get behind Athania. So now that we can get the +2 flanking.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Oh, yeah, sorry, Josh, there's one more rule I didn't tell you that we run, which is the alternate flanking rule, which is rather than giving advantage, you get a +2 to attacks, and cover gives you a +2 to AC.
Okay, awesome.
But it also means you get flanking not directly behind, but also on like corners. So, for example, that gives Luther flanking because he's. Oh, actually, even if Grinner wasn't there, you'd still get flanking because he's like technically taking that attention away.
Yeah.
Rather than being.
Yeah,
like,
but now
directly
that I'm behind Athania, we all get flanking because
everyone
now
gets the
there's no
flanking because
threat.
everyone's exactly right.
So it's a +2, so it's not as broken as advantage.
Yeah. The ghost is going to go for its original target, Athania, because the ghost is targeting the person who called to it. That is going to be... Fuck, that hits. Please don't let the NPC...
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. That is going to be a lot of damage. I rolled very well on that damage. You watch as the ghost reaches out into Athania's chest and pull... Actually, it's, to get a +2 to that anyway, so definitely hit. It pulls out some of that essence, and you watch as this dark... red-black energy is pulled into its hand, and the ghost consumes it, and then this red-black energy begins swirling through it. Very similar.
So
Looking
did that look
to
the
Luther's.
same?
Yeah, very similar
Yeah.
to Luther. This is so much more intense, though. Luther's was very, like,
Okay.
almost like a washed-out sepia tone compared to this. This was vibrant, pulsing red. That's the ghost's full turn. Tithla!
I really don't think that I'm gonna be much help here. I don't think I'm really doing anything, but I did just kill that one. So maybe I'll just shoot. No, you know what? How's everyone looking? Anyone look super fucked up?
I'm not actually looking too bad. I'm 31 out of 40. I shouldn't actually tell you that. It's meta. But
Yeah, it's very meta.
I'm not
Anyone
bloodied.
looks
Clean as a
super messed
whistle,
up.
mate.
Yeah, I'm not bloodied. That's what I should say.
I'm fighting fit.
Great. I'm gonna go. Okay. You all got that. I might just take a breather for a second.
And cast Cure Wounds on herself
Nice.
Nice.
Brilliant.
at second level, because why not?
Yeah, why not? Get those hit points
Great,
back.
we got 12 points from that.
Drake, command, bonus action.
Yeah, Tizla's going to say
Go over there
Ghost.
and hit the old lady.
Oh, the
Hit
old
the
lady,
old
the
lady.
vampire. Okay. Or the ghost.
the old lady,
Vampire.
and
okay.
it has a speed of 40 feet, so it can get there.
It'll get there easy.
And then it will. Sorry, it's within buttons to get to this little.
It is hidden away the
bit
Drake.
here. Yes. Okay. That's through there. Attack.
That's a natural.
That's a 4 to hit,
That's a natural one.
which
Even with
which is a
plus two.
4.
Even with
which
a
is
plus 2.
1 + 3.
As the Drake goes to bite down on Athania, it stumbles forwards and falls prone. How much movement would it have left? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, you need to.
Not
It's
enough.
prone until next turn.
All right. Well, go team.
Sorry about that. Grinner. End it.
Grinner. God, back here again. All right, I'm just going to punch her in the head.
The vampire?
Yeah,
Yeah, go for
the
it.
vampire. Which is that's just a boring old unarmed strike.
I will say this.
You're kidding.
No, I will say this. You can do reckless attacks too, as a
Yeah, you
barbarian.
can give yourself advantage, remember. 'Cause you can attack recklessly.
Advantage will be against you too, though, so that's a double-edged sword, but you have resistances. And you've got 14 AC, so it's like nothing.
Yeah, all right. I'm going to attack recklessly. Are you happy for me to
Yeah, it's
retcon
fine.
attack that?
Yeah,
Okay.
go.
Hang on, where's it gone? Yeah, there we go.
I
Oh,
thought
that's a
for-
bit better.
I thought for a sudden second it'd have been another natural 1 because roll 20 took a second, and then
What?
that's a natural 20.
Oh,
You balanced it out with a
Lord.
natural 20.
That's right. That's amazing.
That's a natural 20. So that's going to be 5 + 4, so 9 total damage from the.
And two additional things on that. So the ghosts do finally pop out and start doing their little ghosty whatever the fuck. And I can bonus action using Tavern Brawler Grapple to try to grapple her again as a bonus action. On that
absolutely.
Nice.
So I'm going to do that, which you said was athletics, correct?
Athletics, yes.
Maybe.
19, 23 from her, sorry.
That's right. I'm going to...
Sorry, Ed, again to keep telling you, but with the rage, you actually get advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws.
Oh, good. Anyone would think I haven't played this before. I might roll that again then.
Yeah, it's fine.
The exact same thing.
19, exactly the same.
And then I'm just going to punch her in the head a second time.
Yeah, go for it. Are you attacking recklessly?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, you may roll that again if you like.
I'm gonna.
23, yeah, definitely hits. 18 to 23, yeah, so 7 damage. You just crack her. You watch as her head snaps back and then suddenly snaps forward again.
Sweet. And yeah, so now if she's not attacking me, it's at disadvantage.
Yep.
No, wait, yeah.
Yeah, and then if she does manage to hit someone else, they have resistance to the damage. Yep. Jonor, it's your turn.
Same as last time. He's creeping around the top, stands behind this pillar, pokes his head out, gets the flame out, and launches it into the vamp. So there'll be another firebolt. Yeah, that's
not
no deal
enough.
right there.
It just flies over and embeds itself into the roof of the crypt and burns out, fizzles away into nothing.
And that's all she wrote.
Othania. Othania is not happy. You guys have dealt so much damage. She's going to use her dash. This is going to give Grinner, Killian, Luther, and the Drake, and the Ghost. Oh, that's too many. That's way too many. Attack of opportunity. She's got no choice. She's going to do it. She's going to do it. You all have an attack of opportunity against her as she tries to blur out of there, zooming through and attempting to escape.
Oh, get fucked.
17 is just not enough. 10 is just not enough. Natural 20 from Grinner. Fucking hell. That's going to be another 9 damage. Back of the head.
I take it that the flanking doesn't work when she's running out.
No, the +2 would still count for that, so that's 17 becomes 19, which does hit. That's 9 piercing damage. Yep, absolutely, that does.
Still, if that means anything.
Yeah, yep, that does definitely still hit. 9 does not hit on the Drake Companion and Killian.
Yeah, crazy.
12 is unfortunately just not enough. You watch as she zooms down the corridor, as she runs away. She pauses and looks back towards you, Tithla, and goes, "Oh, my master, I just wanted to make him happy." And then zooms off, disappearing down the corridor. That is not going to be the end of initiative. Killian, it is your go.
Can I still see her? Is she still within, say, 120 feet of me?
She's still within 120 feet. She's down the edge of the corridor. She'd be about 60 feet away from you at this point as she uses her... Sorry, not 60. She'd be 40 feet away from you as she has used her dash.
I'm going to move closer towards the door. And as I do, I'm going to pull out some more blood. I've still got the sword going, but I'm going to pull out some more blood, and 2 globules of blood appear in my hand, and I'm just going to fling them both towards her as I cast Eldritch Blast.
Nice. This would be a great time for a crit. This is when you want the crit.
That's a 9.
9 for the first, but you get 2 beams. That's okay.
Yep, and a 19.
Ooh, 19 hits. Let's see some damage.
So that is going to be...
And it's force damage too.
13 points of force damage.
Nice.
Hey, Killian. How do you want to do this?
Hey!
That is exactly lethal. She had 13 hit points out of 93. That is precisely lethal. How do you do it?
As the first one hits into, say, the ceiling above her and she looks up at it, the second one forms a bit more of a spike to it, and it goes right through the center part of her neck, out through her mouth, and takes out some of the teeth as well, and just shatters into the ceiling above, causing her head
body-
to slump back.
The body just falls limp, running forwards. The momentum just slams into the floor, falling still. Now, that is where we're going to wrap up for tonight because we have gone a little bit over. I'm hoping Josh can rejoin us again next Monday.
Yes.
Yes, fantastic. Because we will continue with this and we'll have Haz back as well. Now, we've gone over, so I will quickly say goodnight. We will all say goodnight to you and we will see you all again really soon. Remember, Avatar Legends tomorrow night and Return of the Giants on Wednesday. Thank you so much, special guest Josh. Thank you for joining us. I hope you've had fun. And we cannot wait to
Thank you very
have
much for having me.
No, our pleasure. Can't wait to have you back. How have I lost your camera? How have I done this? There we go. I've got you back. I got you back. No, it's all right. I got you back. Yeah, cannot wait to get you back for next week. We are going to go and raid Corsair's Cove because we love raiding Corsair's Cove. So Twitch viewers, don't go anywhere. But from everyone else, have a lovely night. Stay safe. Stay well, and we will see you all again next time. Until then, go well, everybody. Bye.
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 Mwah.
Bye.